So yes, everybody, welcome into episode 5 of Coffee and Conspiracies. We are finally here. I got sick. She got sick. I got sick again. Yeah. I think she got sick again.
Yeah.
Oh, it has been.
We didn't get the ass exploding parasite though,
dude.
I actually, that's a lie. I kind of did, but it wasn't this one that's going around now.
This is the vegan. This one gets the vegans. I'm just kidding.
This one, it's just ew. No, it doesn't get the vegans because I mean, I see a lot of carnivores adding tacos, lettuce to their tacos at Taco Bell.
It was just funny that that they came out and they were Taco Bell. Taco Bell got wrecked with this one, which I just I thought was like so funny.
Did their toilets.
Yeah, no, big time. They got messed up. Oh, let me try this light situation here. Get a little shine on the face. There we go. That's better. So yes, so guys. Oh, Wolf says hi. Wolf says hello. So yes, for this episode, we are going to be discussing a little bit more of a getting a little more scientific, which is going to be a lot of fun. Miss Cat is going to go into the history and the basics of what we're going to be discussing. Then she's going to go into the details of what's going on. Not giving away too much because I want to leave that to her. And then I'm going to start the conspiracy side of things because I'm nuts and cuckoo. What's going on, Subin? How you doing? I'm a little nuts and cuckoo, so I'm gonna start that, and then I'm gonna say that
a little bit cocoa crazy.
I'm gonna say this thing's real, and I believe it, and I feel like this, and she's gonna pull out the PhD documentation and be like,
actually,
you're wrong, no, but I'll let you have your imagination.
How you're feeling.
But yeah, so we're gonna be.
Oh, look at him go!
Look at that little guy. He's all wound up. Just let him have it. Just let him have this one. He needs this. Yeah. He's been going through it lately.
Dancing in the rain. We love it.
I did that the other day. I went outside. I was gardening this weekend. It started downpouring with one of these thunderstorms, and I was just out there doing like a weed whacker in the garden. And I came in soaked head to toe.
You were whacking in the garden?
Yeah,
Sir,
every time.
There's laws against that.
No, it's really good for the soil. And she goes, I didn't even know you were outside.
He was sowing his seeds.
I was literally sowing my seeds, yeah. But when little me's grow, I have to get rid of them like real quick. I don't want any more of that.
Yeah, please.
Don't need none of that.
Could you imagine if you grew garden gnomes?
That way, I would keep.
That's where. Could you imagine? That's the next conspiracy. Where do garden gnomes come from? Well, when men jack off in the backyard.
But then who decided to like the second their heads pop out of the soil, you put a little hat on them? Like who thought about that? Like who didn't just who just put a little hat and overalls on these little nerds, or did they grow with them somehow? Like how did this happen?
I don't know.
Who thought this? Do you have to like put the seed?
Maybe it's like turtles with their shells. Like they're just born with them.
But like, do you put like? Okay, we're going on. This is fine. I'm good with this. They grow with the clothes. So like Wolf, do you put like the little pants and shirts like in the soil? You put your seed in that, and then you put a little hat on top of the soil, and it grows into the clothing and out into the hat, and that's when you know it's ready. Wait, should we keep going with this?
I mean, I don't know. I think it's just cute, the idea that that's where garden gnomes come from.
I do like that, and that's why they're all jerks. If they came anywhere from me, that's why they all suck. They steal your underwear and one sock. That is
the dirt.
I would steal underwear and one sock just to annoy people too. That's what I would do. But yes, so we are discussing today garden gnomes.
Back to science.
The Cern program, the company. I think it's company, right? Cern's the company.
Cern is the company.
Cern is the company.
They actually manufacture a lot of these Hadron Colliders.
Yeah.
But their specific one is the Large Hadron Collider, which is the focus, I guess, of most conspiracies and a lot of their discoveries also in science.
True. I saw that there was quite a few different ones out there, but that was the main one, and that's the one that just got shut down for its next cycle of maintenance for 4 years or 5 years, however long it takes. They hope it's only 4 years, but who knows? So yes, we are going to be discussing for episode 5 the Large Hadron Collider. Hadron. Large Hadron Collider. And the Cern company.
And I have my notes.
A little bit of history behind it. And she actually wrote notes. I just copy and paste into a Word document and pray.
Fucking research mode here. And it's funny because I wrote it in my
how's it going, Y2? Hello, sir.
Français.
So I did a lot of toilet surfing.
For it.
I did a lot of
You
toilet
did toilet
surfing.
surfing?
I was like, wait,
Like
that
Mr. Hanky?
Huh, hold on. Oh no, that would be cool though.
Mr. Hanky.
But I wouldn't want to meet him when I'm
girl.
sitting on the toilet though. I'm okay with that.
You're just like us. I just picture you as Mr. Hanky going around this like learning about Cern and be like, "Howdy, everyone! Did you know that back in 2016, we had a meltdown at the Large Hadron Collider?" Yeah.
Did you guys know?
Howdy ho! Did you guys know that back in 2012, a weasel decided to jump into the electrical side of the Hadron Collider? He got electrocuted and should have brought a
Someone
towel.
clip that, please.
He just go. Then Tally would just come in.
Should have brought a towel.
Should have brought it down. Anybody want to get high?
Howdy ho, Jared.
Yeah. This is why I have the rule in place that I don't talk to my chat or anything while I'm doing this, because this we're out of hand all the time. I
Oh,
feel
yeah.
like fucking Robin Williams most of the time, just like, hey, did you know this and blah blah blah. Like,
Trust me, why
like
too?
last
She's
night,
gonna get into it.
randomly last night I was thinking, what if instead of cloning dinosaurs for Jurassic Park, what if we had a Jurassic Park, but we just cloned all of the geniuses of history? Like, what if we had Plato, Aristotle, Da Vinci,
Oh my god.
Einstein, Tesla, like all these geniuses, if we brought them back, the
Could you
brains
imagine?
and all, and like we had a park, and then, you know,
Could you
we
imagine
learned
just
stuff
like
and didn't die.
you just go up to one of the we would still put them in cages for some reason. You just go up to one of the cages and you're just like, come here, little Einstein, come here, I got a little berry for you. And the person's like, don't feed him. We do not feed him. There's reason you do not feed him. Like, he is a very specialized diet.
Come here, little Einstein. Let me just throw you a little raspberry.
Easy girl.
He just comes over.
Yeah, Marie Curie there with her vial, and it's just like, easy girl. Don't lift the top off that vial.
Would be pissed, I'd assume. Yeah, Tesla would
These
probably
are
be
the thoughts
pissed.
that I have. This is like, I had tequila last night, which made the whole running from tornadoes
There it
thing
is.
really fun. But
There it
yeah,
is.
I had a lot of tequila last night.
What's going on, Shay? Hello, how are you? Yeah, Miss Cat, you've had to like run between two different versions of the Wizard of Oz, and she wasn't sure which one she was going to get sucked up into, the Ariana Grande version or the old school black and white. But she had both options. She had both options on either side of her house.
I'm going up.
I'm good, Shay. I'm good.
I have questions, wizard.
Oh God, if we had oh God, I would just go there and they'd be like, follow the yellow brick road, and I'd be like, nope, tap my heels immediately. I'm out. Like,
It's like, listen, you come at me with some flying monkeys, I'm coming at you like a fucking spider monkey.
I just learned how garden gnomes are made. I don't need little people in the same day coming at me with lollipops. Like, so I'm all set.
Or do
Save
I?
that for next week. Nope. But yeah, this is a great opener for the podcast.
Anyhow, science.
All right, so Miss Cat is going to get into the beginning, the opener, the science, the history, all that stuff, and we are not going to break her tangent or her conversation or her
The more
thought
we
process.
know.
And it's gone.
Yeah. And I just want to let people know that this is also in layman's terms. I didn't get into like all the nitty gritty, but I did make some explanations and backgrounds into exactly what some things were.
The sciencey stuff behind this was just mind-boggling. I was just like, I need a degree for this.
I'm lucky because this is kind of like a side hobby for me anyway. So like most of it I already am fairly familiar with, just because I think that string theory is eventually going to help us figure out exactly what we come from and what exactly the universe is and everything.
I come from strings. That's about the far as my...
We're all made of yarn.
I'm angel hair pasta.
And we live in the Korra universe, you know, when she goes through the little door.
I'm okay with Loki
button
being up
eyes.
there, like flicking my string. You know, if that's how this was going to work. You know, the Marvel Loki series. He's sitting on the
if
flicking.
Loki's flicking your string, I want in. I'm a jelly. Flick my string, Loki. Flick my
Nope.
string.
No, he doesn't swing that way. Sorry. Sucks to suck.
He's actually bisexual. He sleeps with
Not this
everything.
week. I paid extra for this. You're gonna let me have this one.
You can have this week's your string flicking.
Mhm.
Next week he's putting mine in a ball.
Excuse me?
Anyway. Shh, science, Cosmo.
I don't know if you said he's
Science.
putting yours in a bowl or a bottle.
Dan. In a ball.
In a ball?
In a juicy little ball.
I don't
that
know.
He's gonna extract on his lawn and make Loki gnomes. Anyway.
She explained it and I still didn't know what the fuck we were just talking about. Oh, I swore.
She did it first. He did
No!
first. That's a drink. No, I'm kidding. First,
This is
I got my iced
vodka.
coffee.
I'm having indigestion issues.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right.
This is I don't know. Okay, so Cern. I wanted to get into the history of exactly what Cern is because it's gonna. I think a lot of people are confused on the difference between Cern and everything else with like the Hadron Colliders and everything.
Mhm.
So, what is Cern? They have an interesting history, guys. Cern is part of the European Organization for Nuclear Research and is the world's largest particle physics laboratory located on the France-Switzerland border near Geneva. Not to be confused with the Geneva Convention. Thanks, Canada. It was founded in 1954 and provides scientists with massive particle accelerators, such as the Large Hadron Collider, to study the fundamental building blocks of matter and the forces that govern the universe. So this whole thing that some people that I see online so much where they're confused about the timeline of these Hadron Colliders and CERN itself, it's not a new thing. It's been around since the 1950s. Researchers at CERN smash particles together at nearly the speed of light to recreate the conditions of the Big Bang and study the phenomena like the Higgs boson. And the Higgs boson is a fundamental particle that provides mass to all elementary particles and is often called the God particle. And I think that a lot of people saw the articles coming out. I think it was on Time, actually, where it said the God particle and everything.
Mhm.
So a lot of people are familiar with it. And not a lot of people know what it does, but they're familiar with at least that. So
You find this particle on the eve of my daughter's wedding.
it acts as a ripple or wave in the Higgs field, which is an invisible energy field that permeates all of space. Whenever quarks, a fundamental indivisible subatomic particle that serves as the building block of matter, and electrons interact with this field, they drag through it. Just think of like if you were to drag something through batter, like if you're making chicken strips and you're dragging it through the batter, it collects all of that mass. And this is what gives it mass. Without the Higgs field, these particles would just zip around at the speed of light. CERN unites over 10,000 scientists and engineers from universities and institutes worldwide. So it's not just owned by any particular thing. This is basically a collective of intellectuals who want to progress science. CERN's charter mandates that all findings are published and freely available, strictly prohibiting any military research. So that is completely banned out. Completely.
That's cool.
Yeah, because let's face it, we can't trust these governments. We can't trust these hoes.
Oh, it already would have been a weapon.
It already would have been a weapon. CERN also developed the World Wide Web. Little did you know.
Take it back.
Hang on. Tim Berners-Lee proposed the idea in March 1989, and by 1999 had built the first ever web browser, editor, and server. They released the, hang on. I can't read my own writing there. I wrote it fast.
This is the layman's terms.
Yes. They released into the public domain, on April 30th, 1993. Not to be confused by the internet. The internet is a physical structure. The World Wide Web is a service that runs on top of that. So the internet is all the cables and everything like that. And the World Wide Web is just the service atop of that. That's why there's also those conspiracies of the dark web and there being another service that people use the internet for. The most central part of the conspiracies are related to the Large Hadron Collider. The Large Hadron Collider started up in September of 2008, so it's not like this new thing that's super crazy. It's newer, not newest.
Yeah, she corrected it. Why too? The browser, not the like physical
within 9
internet.
days, and repaired and turned back on in 2009. In 2012, they discovered the Higgs boson, a huge breakthrough in explaining what we and the universe are made of. The Large Hadron Collider has had many shutdowns for maintenance. So this was important for me to find out because so many, I guess, new age people and everything that I see on Instagram and everything who are saying like, do you guys feel different?
Not
Do you guys
Netscape.
feel the energy shift? Well, the Large Hadron Collider is just shut down for 4 years, and you may feel your timeline shift back to how it's supposed to be. And it's like, yeah, but this is not the first time it's happened. I'm sorry to burst your little brain bubble. The first long shutdown was in February 2013 and restarted again in April 2015. The second long shutdown was at the end of 2018 and reopened in April of 2022. And the third one is happening right now. It commenced most recently on June 29th, 2026. This massive transformation project is aimed to be completed in 2030. That's as long as everything goes according to plan. Aside from this aside from these long shutdowns, because I know a lot of people think that the timeline shifts and everything like that because of these large shutdowns. However, aside from these long shutdowns, there are annual winter breaks where every winter the Large Hadron Collider is typically shut down for maintenance for a few months. So it does it every year for a few months in the winter. In November 2009, a bird dropped a piece of baguette into the high voltage equipment at an electrical substation, causing the first animal-related short circuit.
This is my favorite part of this whole thing.
Yes, this is hilarious. The bird survived as it only dropped its snack. So the bird survived that one. But in November, which I thought was funny that it happened again in November. In November
baguette.
2016, a stone martin famously leaped into an 18,000 volt transformer in an LHC electrical substation, short-circuiting the Large Hadron Collider during an experiment. Now, there was a lot of theories around the weasel theory of that, which is what I brought up. And I brought it up to so many people, and I'm amazed that, like, not so many people knew it. Maybe it's not a niche thing. I don't know. It's probably a very niche thing, and people just didn't give a shit. But I did.
People need to give a shit.
People think that this shifted it into a different timeline because shortly after that, Harambe died and like basically the downfall of humanity afterwards. But this is what actually occurred. It disrupted an ongoing experiment which was actively running stable particle beams and stable particle beams and was working with the Atlas experiment, where in the middle of recording data from a proton to proton collision experiment. So I had brought this up with everybody before in the Antarctica episode when I talked about Atlas. Atlas actually has a base down in Antarctica, and they work with Cern to find out more about the protons that are just zooming through Earth and not stopping, right? So they want to know why that's happening. I didn't know this, but they're actually working with CERN regarding this, and it's one of the experiments that the Large Hadron Collider is actually conducting. At least it did, during that time with the weasel incident.
You got your own weasel behind you. I just saw moving around.
That's my loony. It's Luna, my little black weasel. It didn't, however, abort the live physical beam. It only caused a blip of its disruption.
Mm-hmm.
The only loss that the scientists had was of their time. It cannot disrupt reality. The only consequence of interrupting this beam was to the machine itself. essentially, because it just blipped out the magnets for a moment. But it happened so quickly that it didn't shut down the beam at all. So safety systems detect disruptions in the loss within a millisecond and dumps the beam by using high-speed magnets to deflect the beam down a side tunnel into a 7-meter-long block of graphite. For those who understand like nuclear physics and stuff, graphite is often used in a lot of those nuclear stations. The block absorbs the entire impact safely. So
Crazy.
that's a little bit about So that's a little bit about that and the history of CERN itself. For the most part, I have to say that within what I was reading and what I was looking into, and just studying and hearing about, like, if anybody wants to know more about CERN, they actually have a website and they have all of their news and like publishings and stuff on there. So it's not something that they ever hide from people. I'm of the belief as well that knowledge should be shared amongst peers, because that's how progression happens in the scientific fields and everything else. But what's interesting, excuse me, I had that little bit of banana beforehand and now I'm burping.
Thank you. Thank you, Mason.
But one of the things that was brought up recently was Michio Kaku's whole mention of there being basically another dimension that we're living in, and that actually coincides with his support with the Large Hadron Collider. Michio Kaku strongly supports the Large Hadron Collider as an essential tool to find evidence of higher dimensions in sparticles, superpartner particles, to validate string theory. He believes alternate dimensions live simultaneously alongside of ours, and comparing their coexistence to being tuned in differently, non-overlapping radio frequencies. Kind of like how if you switch your radio from AM, it picks up AM, but doesn't read any FM, and then vice versa. You go to FM, you can't hear the AM. So Kaku views the Large Hadron Collider as a stepping stone. While he acknowledges the LHC successfully discovered the Higgs boson, he has argued that it may lack the raw power to fully verify the higher dimensional symmetries required by string theory. He's also a proponent of building even larger, more powerful particle accelerators like the proposed International Linear Collider, which is hugely fascinating, to reach the energies needed to prove these theories. So they want to build an even bigger and stronger one, which might be why they're updating the Large Hadron Collider as it is, so that they can actually conduct stronger experiments to see if they can validate these theories.
Not to cut you off, I think they said this one's going to be 10 times stronger. I think they said they're doing it to like 10 to make it 10 times everything 10 times, not just stronger, but like 10 times more particles can go through, 10 times more. Like it's going to be, everything's going to be 10 times bigger and stronger and faster and more energy and everything when they're done with these upgrades and stuff.
Exactly. Which is fun. And touching on the whole, people back in when the Hadron Collider first started up were terrified because all I heard was black hole, and it's like, we're gonna be sucked in, we're fucking doomed. Oh, I dropped one. That was a bomb.
Boom.
But essentially, I wanted to know why people thought that the Large Hadron Collider and the colliders in general altered reality.
Only in the United States,
Most
Mason.
of it is based in
I don't think
the
so.
hoopla of science fiction. Movies and TV shows like The Flash and Cloverfield Paradoxes use particle accelerators as plot devices for alternate dimensions, which sensationalizes it immediately. Then headlines and the internet, because of journalists who went to study English
You're not wrong,
and become
Wolf.
journalists, start writing about things they don't understand, like science, and they start to sensationalize the idea of these black holes, perhaps ripping a fabric of time and sucking Earth into it and all this stuff. But basically, early internet rumors falsely claimed the LHC could create Earth-swallowing black holes. This isn't true. They make microscopic scale black holes. The collisions happen at such a tiny scale that they only mimic the early universe without changing the world around us. So there's no altering anything. It's just kind of recreating it on a very micro level.
They essentially fizzle out before they could even attempt to do anything.
Yes, because
that
we
actually
do not
pisses them off because the scientists can't really
Yes.
measure it either.
Because, as we just said, the Hadron Collider doesn't have the energy necessary to sustain them. The amount of energy that comes out of a star when it explodes and when a black hole is created is so immense. To create that, we would blow up the Earth, basically. So that wouldn't be very smart because then they would never learn anything.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not dealing with people who are, psychopaths. We're dealing about people who carefully want to come to some understanding by making a micro level event happen that they can study in a controlled environment.
I mean, there's not Dr. Evil sitting in his chair with a naked cat spinning in a circle.
Lasers!
Freaking sharks with lasers on their heads.
So the Large Hadron Collider could theoretically create black holes, but only on a microscopic scale, and they pose absolutely zero danger to Earth. And according to mainstream physics, the collider does not even have anywhere near the amount of energy to create a black hole. However, some speculate like a black hole enough to suck in the Earth and everything. However, some speculate physics theories suggest it might be possible to do so. And I mean, I guess we'll find out. But again, they would make it so small that it wouldn't just like, you have to understand how long it takes for these black holes to also grow. Like we find them when they're larger in the universe, but they start out very, very, very tiny. So
was it a white dwarf?
I
think it's like a white dwarf that like crashes in on itself continuously.
Yes, it just implodes and just smashes against itself, and then all the energy around it, that's what it's consuming. It's the energy. And once again, going back to, we are energy. That's what it feeds on. So that in itself, I think, is interesting, and one of the things that I look forward to learning more about, God willing, if I'm old enough to witness it all, which I hope I am if the asteroid misses us in 2029. But,
I think at this point they're pulling it towards us. I think they're like, yeah, come here, boy. just graze us a little bit.
We'll also miss that because it would still take, I think it's like thousands of years to even ever reach us. So there's that. But microscopic size black holes can be created, but it would be just a quantum black hole, billions of times smaller than an atom. So we don't even know what an atom is. So you're looking at something that atoms wouldn't be able to see. That's how tiny it is.
Oof. You know what's crazy about that? Just a quick thought.
What?
We're creating those, right, to learn about them, and they're tinier than an atom. Those could be like peppered around us right now, and we wouldn't even know. Like, it's just one of those things.
I can rule that out right now because I was reading about it, and they fizzle out so fast that they don't even. There's not enough energy to sustain it to move anywhere else. Like they see it spark, and then it's just gone. Spark gone. Spark
so it's
gone.
not a stable thing that could just exist.
Starts.
Yeah.
No. If it stuck around, we would be able to see them at this point. So that's. That's why it's important to understand something.
Ooh, so it's a neutron star crashing in on itself? Okay.
There you go. Let me see.
I'm wondering if if we did the larger collider, it got built and they used it and it did have an obscene amount of power that they didn't, they were able to figure it out and they could get a stable black hole, even if it's so small you can't even see it. I'm wondering if a black hole could be self-feeding at that point, and that's where a lot of people have these conspiracies or these fears of black holes, where they think it's this little guy could just start absorbing energy and absorbing stuff. Once it gets started, a little engine, it'll just get a little bigger and a little bigger and a little bigger, and it's one of those people won't know how to shut it down. And all right, I did the hand signal. Thank you for zooming in. I appreciate you. Can we go back now?
You just got so big. Are you a black hole?
It felt like it. That was really good timing, Tiny.
Hang on a second. Collider.
No, even if a white dwarf gains extra mass in a binary system, it explodes into a supernova rather than becoming a black hole. Ah, getcha. I knew one of them did something.
So I wanted like as we're going along with this, this is what I've been doing to learn more about it. But no, even if the Large Hadron Collider managed to create a microscopic black hole, it couldn't grow. According to physics
Okay.
consensus at Cern, any such tiny black hole would evaporate almost instantly through the Hawking radiation and lack of gravity to consume matter. That's right, because when these large stars collapse in on themselves, it's the gravity that helps to create and sustain these black holes. We don't have that with Earth.
No.
Our little puny Earth is so tiny and so little, it can't.
And we don't fully understand gravity, that somebody, again, Dr. Evil shit, couldn't even like create their own gravity and manipulate it in a way and combine it with this black hole thing. Like, we don't know anything about gravity as it is. We understand roughly how it works, but not really, not as much as they want to tell you they do. It's still quite a mystery.
Yeah. Exactly. And that's why science fiction, I'll be watching something and I immediately get taken out of movies when they leave. Like, it's kind of why I liked Interstellar so much, because they did go into they didn't
New
go
Horizon
outside
or
of the
something.
realm of they didn't go outside the realm of that could never happen. Like, I hate it when I'm watching, and Marvel is bad for this too. It's just like, this is what happened and now powers. And it's just like,
I liked when he went into the black hole and it was him helping him through the black hole. His conscious of one timeline helping him. It was like, it wasn't affecting his physical form or his body or anything like that. It was just time being manipulated, which was crazy to me. It wasn't like he was being shot in the forward or the past. It all existed at the same time. It was like
same time, because time isn't linear.
No, and it was crazy. It took like time and it just made it like this and put it like this. And it was like the past, present, and future were all stacked. So his past self could tell his future self, could tell his present self to do things. And I was just like, what?
Yep.
Sorry, I got off the little thing real quick. I got excited, so I started pressing buttons.
and your bot loves to.
Oh, he was moving around. Yeah, he
move around.
Broke off his axis and started doing his own thing. But yeah, no, I agree. That movie got me real good.
Yeah, I really liked and enjoyed that movie, especially with relation to time, and also Project Hail Mary was also good for that.
So I haven't seen that yet, and I want to.
Okay, I'm not going to spoil it for you, but I had to stop it 3 times to cry. And I don't mean just like little sniffle. I mean like full on, like having a mental breakdown crying.
Oh boy. That one's all over the internet. Everyone's praising it. They're saying it's fantastic. It's good, so Mason? Good. Okay.
Yes, Mason, I agree. It is so good. And I want my niece to watch it as well, but I also think that she's going to have the emotional breakdowns as well. And anyone who's seen it knows what I mean.
All right. I'm definitely going to watch it.
The existential loneliness and fear felt amongst different beings. I love it. It just, you're an empath, you're going to feel it too.
Oh yeah. When she starts crying, I'm going to start crying too. Every time.
One of the things with that the Large Hadron Collider has also done, I think that the internet has kind of created a monster when it comes to conspiracy theories, and
they run out of control.
Information is provided, and then people who don't understand it get a hold of it, and they start coming up with these theories and ideas that they truly believe. And I'm not going to negate it, because some of it has come to pass as being truthful in some way or another. But overall, a lot of it is just baloney. However, the one that stuck around the longest that we still talk about today is the Mandela effect. In 2008, they first started up the Large Hadron Collider. It, as I said in the beginning, it broke down after 9 days. One of the magnets gave out, so they had to repair it. It started up again in 2009. And in 2009, Fiona Broom, a paranormal researcher, started a website and wrote a book regarding the phenomenon of the Mandela effect, as she and others falsely remembered Nelson Mandela dying in a South African prison in the 1980s. Now, I remember hearing about this and being like really confused, because I don't remember it like that. I remember the video of when he was released from prison. I remember when he was no longer in the prison. So for people to remember that he died, I feel like they may have, I don't know, I do believe in some sort of a shared consciousness. So I do think that some people remember certain things a certain way, but
Mason, that'd be cool.
They wanted him to die in the prison, but I don't remember it because I remember him being released. But some people don't remember him being released. They just assume that he died there. So I think that that a lot of the conspiracies built off of that, with the Mandela effect and everything. It's kind of
I am someone who thought he died.
Bit.
I honestly, but I didn't drill into it because I just thought that was history. I thought he died in prison, and that was just in a history book I read somewhere. Like, it was just history, and I moved on to the next thing. So like, I didn't dwell on it and think it was some weird effect or something. I just personally thought in history, which I could have been wrong, that he died in prison. I don't remember him being out of prison. I don't remember him going on to do anything. I don't remember hearing his name other than he did this thing and he died in prison. Like, I don't remember any of this. It wasn't in my studies. It wasn't a part of my daily life. So I could be one of those people that was easily manipulated to believe one thing or the other because I didn't know anything about the guy. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And I think that for a lot of people who don't pay attention, like, it might have just been something like, for example, you just heard about, like, oh, well, he must be dead or whatever. I never thought about it again. I think that's what a lot of people think. But I'm like, but did you guys not see the interviews that he did? Like, his sit downs with famous people talking and like the documentaries about him and stuff. I was like, did nobody...
Never happened. I'm just kidding.
Did anybody? Yeah, but that's the thing. That's why I think that a lot of these Mandela effects are, I mean, some of them are really, really weird, but a lot of them are also just people not following something until it's brought to their attention, and then they thought, oh no, boom, like Mandela effect, like timeline has shifted, timeline has changed. It's like, or you just didn't pay attention enough, you know? And one of the things that I found is that with the Shazam movie, I was looking into that, and I really wanted to believe there was a Shazam movie with Sinbad. Okay. There wasn't. There was never. I know people have mocked up these, like,
Lexi, welcome in. How are you?
Of there being.
I'm going to my VHS
movie.
box at some point. I just don't want to go down in the basement, but I will find this shit.
I hope you find it and you can prove me wrong, but because I'm starting to, you know, when you're gaslit enough that you start to think like, okay, well, maybe it was that way. I'm starting to, because I do remember a Shaq movie where he played a genie, and I also remember Sinbad dressed up looking like a genie, but it was from a different movie entirely different movie. And I'm thinking, okay, so there could be some overlap there of the two films. And just me thinking it was a Sinbad movie, you know? But yeah, I'll let you go on, and we can talk about Mandela effects, or we can talk about the Hadron Collider somewhere. But
we'll go into both. While we're on it, we can poke at the Mandela effect thing a little bit, because I do experience a few of them myself. That it's one of those, when I experience it, it's not me trying to make other people believe one way. It's me having a moment of like, what the hell? When did they change that logo or whatever? Because like in my like, it's just me sitting here in my house just going, oh, they must have updated the logo because it's 2025 or whatever, and they just wanted a new one or whatever. And then I see on the internet all these people talking about that the thing that I believe didn't exist. And I'm like, wait, hold up. I swear to God, I have a pair of this underwear in the basement or something. So like what Mason's talking about, that. Okay, so I think they're trolling us still. I think they're trolling us. I'm
starting to think they're trolling us because it's bringing attention to their brand.
I think they're marketing this, and it's a marketing scheme, and they're trolling us because I distinctively remember in the 90s that there was a cornucopia behind all that fruit, and it was a part of it. And you always start during Christmas and the holidays. And I remember the cornucopia like spinning on a commercial and coming back around and the fruit going into it. And they were talking about Fruit of the Loom. And it was like this whole holiday special and come buy our things at Christmas and our clothing and whatever and blah, 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 blah. What's up, Shabbat? And it was like, I have vivid memories of like freaking commercials of the cornucopia moving and like doing things with the fruit and stuff, and like for holiday themed clothing things, like it, like I've always pictured that. So when they showed the fruit just sitting there by itself on like nothing, just fruit on your like just fruit on your ass, like fruit on your butt cheeks, like what? Like that was stupid. Like the cornucopia was the thing that made sense. I don't need an apple on my booty hole. Like I want the cornucopia, man. It's gotta hold the fruit. I don't want my cheeks to hold the fruit.
Wait, you want a horn on your ass?
Yeah, holding fruit, because I don't want to hold the fruit. I'm not one of those people who can like bend down and, well, maybe I could pick a cherry up with my butt cheeks. I've never tried. I could probably pick something up. I could probably pick up like a melon.
These are the questions that keep me up at night.
I seriously think I could probably at least like a lemon. I could at least do like a lemon, but anything bigger, a grapefruit would be a challenge, but I'd figure it out. I got some big butts now. And they, okay, they're grippy.
Can you crush a walnut? Can you open a walnut with your arse cheeks?
Absolutely not. It would probably go somewhere I wouldn't want it, and I'd have to have a very uncomfortable visit to the ER.
I think if we ever get together, we need to do the egg crack thing, though. Like where we put an egg between our butt cheeks and try to crack it with our butt cheeks.
I feel like that'd be easy. Is that not easy? Is that actually a thing because it's hard? Or does people just want to
it's hard.
feel gooey things between their cheeks?
Some people don't even have the cheeks to make that happen.
I mean,
some people just got two flapjacks back there, just like swinging in the wind.
Hold on, I'm testing. I'm trying to grip the leather of my chair. I think I can do this.
Oh my fucking God. He's got fingers for an ass, everybody. Fingers for an ass. You heard it here first.
Could core an avocado.
Jeez.
But yes, the Fruit of the Loom one messes me up because I remember the cornucopia. So I personally think they're trolling us for marketing. I think it existed. Mm-hmm. They changed the logo. People made a big deal out of it, and someone was smart and they were like, Now the Shazam one with Sinbad, I have a memory.
This one hurts me the most.
This hurts me because I'm the same way you are. I think there's a movie that had him, because I also remember him in the genie costume. But do I remember the rest of the movie? No. I vividly have that still shot photo in my mind of him in the genie costume, but I don't personally have a full playing memory video of the movie in my head. I can't like Aladdin or something, you can play the scenes in your mind, like you saw it, you remember it, Disney movies, whatever you saw as a kid. Sinbad, I can't remember the movie, but I can remember him in the costume. So he could have been in the costume, like you said, in some other thing, quickly. But I think I remember a movie, and I remember a VHS. And I hate the internet right now because you can look up emote for this podcast. Oh, okay, that is actually fantastic. Mason just got his freebie emote, and that's the one he got. And he's like, this is the one for the podcast. That's actually...
Wait, I don't see it. Hang on one second.
Oh, it's good.
Can you put it in my chat, Mason?
It's good. Yeah, Mason, go put it in her chat so she can see it.
Cowits?
Oh, it's fantastic. I have to wait for you to see this one because it's a podcast emote written all over it. It's big too, Mason. God, you got like a super emote.
I don't see it yet. Okay, wait a minute.
He just posted a bunch of them.
Oh, I love it.
The emote. That's a good one. I like that. That's perfect.
I think I just broke everything.
What do you mean? What did you break? Did you Google Shazam and... Hold on, I gotta find this. Give me a second.
I'm looking up his IMDb right now because I'm trying to remember what thing I saw him dressed as a... Oh, he's gonna be in a new movie? What the fuck? I mean, what the fudge? Fudge?
It's fine. They do I was apparently told you can do some. You can have a good amount of them as long as they're not in the first 30 seconds of your video. I'm learning new things. So apparently this is the theory. Kazam was the Shaq one. Kazam
it was the Shaq one.
was the Shaq one.
I remember that. I do remember watching that movie as well.
But I do
saw
not
it with my brother and his friends.
I never saw the Shaq one. I do not have a memory of it. I never saw it. So apparently the thing is the Shazam one supposedly had the same kid, the same font, the same VHS-y looking nonsense, like the whole thing. Like apparently it has the whole thing. And apparently people are coming out saying that like they have VHS tapes of it and they're showing their tapes and stuff, which the internet can do whatever, you know, people can make stuff as they want. But the thing with the Shazam one is nobody's posted it to the internet. Nobody's taken like a recording of it and like posted it as far as I know. So they're showing like the VHS and all this stuff, but they're not actually posting the video on the internet. So I remember him in the giant gold hat.
If somebody had the VHS, it's not hard to find a VCR. You could play it and show people and upload it and be like, this is the film. But like if it doesn't exist, like Sinbad himself says that it doesn't exist. And I'm starting to believe it.
Yeah. And like even Mason saying he has the memory of the Sinbad and the genie outfit, but he doesn't recall the film itself. Like he can't remember.
Why was Sinbad in the genie
I was
outfit?
just doing the same thing.
Okay.
Outfit. Oh crap, I'm on photos.
Sinbad, like Shazam is a newer film that had what's his name?
Yeah, it was a Marvel one. Not a Marvel one. DC.
Yeah, it was like a fucking D budget DC.
It says the costume memory comes from likely from the 1994 hosted TV marathon of Sinbad and the Sailor movies on TNT, where he dressed in a genie style costume for one of the skits.
And that's literally what I just saw, and I truly remember that.
He also played.
Remember that. I was old enough at that time to remember exactly that, and that's what I was trying to figure out what it was, and that's what it was because I remember watching that marathon with my brothers.
Well, he also, my memory probably was from the skit he did on the All That show on Nickelodeon when he played Sinboo.
Mm-hmm.
Let me look that one up too.
So you can see how you would get confused with it. And then if somebody came out and told you, and this is hang on, I remember learning about this in psychology, so I don't want to mess it up because then if my psychology professor ever sees this, she's going to be ashamed of me.
She listens to it on the weekends. Her name's Tiffany.
No, it wasn't. I almost had it. I think it was Jane, though.
Jane, though? I thought you said Jane Doe. I was like, what'd you do to her?
No, Jane.
We're learning new things today, children. Yeah, I think that one's pretty much debunked. But that's one that pains me, right? Because I remember him in something, but I don't have a memory of the movie. Just him in costume. So I'm in the same boat you are with that one. I can't give that one. The Fruit of the Loom one messes me up. God, what are other ones? Hold on, while we're here, because we got plenty of time. This is like
the misinformation effect is what I'm thinking of, because I remember learning about it in psychology when you can have a group of people who say they're hiking. This was the experiment that was or the thing that happened that really made this, I guess, come to science's point of view. But basically, there was a group of hikers who witnessed a shooting, and through that, they all saw something different. But then when they were allowed to talk to each other, they started changing their stories to corroborate with each other and be like, oh, yeah, no, I remember it that way. Yeah, no, that did happen. But some of those events didn't actually happen. It's just in the spur of the moment when you're, first of all, frightened, but also everything is like feels hyper You're
Mm.
hyper vigilant about everything, and then you start to question, like, because your brain is already in fight or flight mode, and this is different when it comes to Mandela effect, but same sort of thing with the misinformation effect, where people start to vehemently believe something to the point that it's truth. And
I'm
so they
gonna-
witnessed this shooting and how it happened, and then by the time they had all talked to themselves, it wasn't how it happened at all. So I feel like the Mandela effect, that happens to a lot of people as well, particularly now that the internet is around and people can like skew people's perspectives and everything.
So I'm bringing a couple of these
Thanks,
up.
Reddit.
I'm gonna bring a couple of these up on screen while we're here, just so people can see them and enjoy our moment of silence here. So this is one of them. The Looney Tunes versus the Looney Tunes. So
Yes.
let's put this one out there for a second. What do you guys remember? Do you remember Looney with the Tunes, or do you remember Looney as in Toons? I hate this because I watched Looney Tunes every Saturday from when they were like playing in the 90s, early 90s. They were way before that, but like, you know, this was your Saturday morning cartoons well all the way through the 90s. And I have to say, I have to give it to the Looney Tunes, the Tunes, which is the one they say is right. I don't remember the Looney Tunes, the Toons, but I know it's a Mandela effect. Yeah. So I want to bring it up. I remember, if I look at these two and I stare at this, I remember the tunes as in Tunes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. I
remember it as Tunes as well, because when Looney Tunes first started, way back when, they incorporated a lot of music into the cartoons, and it was a play on words. And I actually remember reading something or watching a television show based on the history of Looney Tunes, and that was the thing, was that they incorporated so much music into early cartoons because they didn't have a lot of sound editing and voice acting and stuff back then as much as now. And so they incorporated a lot more music into it. So a lot of classical music, for example, and everything, which actually helped educate kids on orchestra music and the history of music itself, because then they'd hear something by Beethoven or by Mozart, and then they'd be like, oh, I know this song from Looney Tunes.
Yeah, exactly.
And then they get to ask questions about it. Yeah.
All right, this one's going to piss off Mason. Here you go, Mason.
Okay, yeah, this one pisses me off too, because it is the Berenstain, not Stain.
Yeah, but they say they didn't exist. Since I was little, have never had a single person around me call them the Berenstain. I never heard stain. That term, stain, has never been referenced. I still have these books somewhere. I haven't looked for them. They may even be in my mom's basement. But we still have the OG day ones. But the problem with the Mandela effect is people say all that will change too. So it doesn't matter. It's just in your mind. The physical reality will change with the problem. It's always been Stein. Yeah, Berenstain Bears. Yes, I know. Pronounced Stain, but spelled Stein. Yeah, okay. There it is. There,
I'm even like gonna double down on the fact that maybe they changed it because maybe they thought it sounded too Jewish.
I mean, it's possible. That is something I could see happening.
Depending on the publishers and everything.
Depending on the publishers, the world that we're in right now.
Yeah.
The market, although this was pretty recent. Not pretty recent. This was a little while ago that this had happened, but still, I agree with you.
It's just, like, I went to the freaking Scholastic School Fair. I don't remember seeing Stain. I remember seeing Steen. The Berenstain. I remember a conversation with my friend Elizabeth talking about what books are you going to get, and she said, I'm going to get the Berenstain Bears, and I was getting the Babysitter's Club.
Yep. And you have a memory of this. You have a memory of these conversations happening. Yeah, exactly. This one, I'm going with the old one. This is where the Mandela effect messes with us, because we're not agreeing with the actual thing that people say it is, or what it currently is listed as. This one I'm tossing out. This, and I won't stay on this all night, but like I have to do a few of these because like these are messing with me. So hold on. There's another. I know we have other conspiracies, but oh wait, what?
No, these are good.
was never there. Okay, yeah, no, this one. You know, some of these I'm gonna have to leave to you guys because not all of these are me. I don't have all of these, but okay, this one's gonna be pretty obvious. I already know my answer to this one. I already know my answer to this one. I like that I have this like set up that I can just do this and then do this. Boop.
Now it says Berenstein. Yeah, absolutely, Gravorsky.
How about this one? What's up, Plant? It's Berenstein. Yes, you can't tell me different. I know. We agree with you 100%. I 100% agree with you on that one. 100%.
What is this shit?
What
is this shit with Curious George? What is this shit?
So this is a new one. This is another one where a lot of people either remember him with or without a tail.
He has a freaking tail. I had, and Grigorski knows this. We have collectively, when we were growing up, we had vinyl records with Curious George. Okay. And it was a learn to read thing that my mother bought for us. And I saw pictures, and if I could find it, I don't know. We had a flood, so we lost a lot of shit. But there was a book that accompanied the vinyl, and we watched, and we would read along with it. And Curious George was a monkey. What kind of monkey doesn't have a tail? Curious George had a tail. This was back in the early 90s, late 80s, by the way. So he had a tail. Why the hell would you take away the tail of a monkey?
So do you want to know the current, what like it is? Which one it is? It's the no tail.
I know, and that's why I'm pissed.
Yeah, they say he does not have a tail. They said he's never had a tail. He does not have a tail. The tail was never a thing. And he's always had no tail. Took up the space the tail would be in. Yeah. Yeah, they always just tucked it into the binding.
Lost. He was lost in the city. He took a train. He took the trolley by himself, and his owner told him not to, or his father figure thingy guy. And he told him not to, and I remember the entire story, and he had a tail. And Pikachu had a black band at the top of his tail.
Did he?
Yeah, he absolutely freaking did.
Did Pikachu have a black band at the top of his tail?
Yeah, because he's a lightning Pokemon. And
because
he had it looked like a little bolt at the top of his tail. Yep, he had a little bolt at the top of his tail.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, because he was and that was how we knew that because it looked like a little, little thunderbolt at the end of his tail.
It's okay, Plant.
Because, yeah.
So I believe he's always had the black thing at the top of his tail because I thought it always was, it matched his ears. So I always thought he had little black nails on his feet. He had like between his toes, they always darkened it out. And he had black on the edge of his tail and he had black on his ears. It made sense. It fit the marketing. That is what I remember. I distinctively remember. And they say no. They say he did not have the black on his tail. They say it didn't exist. He never had it, and you can't find it otherwise. If you look it up on the old videos and stuff now, it's not there.
Yeah.
So
I know because I looked up my Pokemon Blue and it wasn't there.
It's not there. Internet, yeah. I think they're erasing all of it. I remember distinctively him having a tail. And that's where I'm just like, okay, well, this is blowing me away. There is a couple other ones that are, okay, so this, I'm just going to throw this out there. A lot of them are food related, which I always thought was hilarious. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing
punch
that.
The internet so hard.
I'm not doing that. Oh, this one's going to piss Mason off too. Okay, I got to wait on that one. Hold on. Okay, we're going to go right into this one. We already talked about it earlier, but just so you guys can see what we're talking about. The Fruit of the Loom one. Just so anyone who doesn't know has a visual. Cornucopia or no cornucopia? Or an ingenious marketing scheme? What are we thinking?
I'm doubting myself. I've been gaslit to shit about this one.
I remember the cornucopia because you want to know why? You want to know why? What's up, Grigorski? He says cornucopia. You want to know why? Because I didn't know what a freaking cornucopia was, and I specifically remember having to ask like my mom or something what that thing was, and it was on the clothing, and I had to ask like I don't know what that is, and I was told it's a cornucopia based off of this brand where I first saw it. This is the only place I ever saw one. I never saw one on a table. We didn't have one at Thanksgiving. My family didn't own one. This is where I saw it. This is the only reason I know what that is. The wicker basket thingy. Yes, the wicker basket thingy.
Yeah.
This is the only reason why I know what one of these is because of freaking underwear.
It's
and
actually
t-shirts.
one of the reasons why most people know what it is, which is like actually goes back to people's memories of like, okay, well, if it was never there, then how the frick do I know what a cornucopia is?
I would never have even wanted to know. I wouldn't have pursued the thought of this thing. I wouldn't have cared. There's nowhere on the planet I would have seen one of these things. Do you see any of them now? No. I don't see this thing anywhere.
I went to Walmart the other day and I looked at the Fruit of the Loom underwears and just to see if they put it back, just to fuck with me.
Exactly. Just to see if they mess with you. Oh my God, there's so many of them. Like just to see if they mess with you. This is a fun one too. Oh God, we have so much time, so I'm gonna keep doing a few of these if you don't mind, because this is fun.
I'm having fun. Let's keep doing this.
This is engaging. All right, ready? Monocle or no monocle on the Monopoly Man? The old school Monopoly Man.
Monocle.
I say monocle.
Yeah.
Internet says no.
He had a monocle.
They say he never had a monocle. So it's not a thing.
Oh, hang on there. Had to hard reset the matrix, but some of us retained our original files. That could be.
So
there was a cornucopia back when I was a kid, and someone posted a commercial from the 70s, and it was
I'm
there.
telling you, there was a commercial.
I saw it. I saw it with me eyes.
Yes, with me eyes. Bah.
With me eyes.
I'm
Hi, Luna.
upsetting my car. Bah.
Luna just flipped over.
Can Luna get to you where you are? Like, kind of jump on your chair if she wants to?
No, she's not. She's not that invasive. She's a very respectful poochie.
People
shine my light there so you guys can see her.
You're cute.
Hello, puppy.
People are saying that the reason we think the Monopoly Man has a monocle is because people visually mixed him up with the peanut, with the Planters peanut guy. I remember a monocle. I hate this so much. His face just looks naked without it. It doesn't look right. Like,
no.
The Pringles guy did not. The internet is stupid and confused. I called it Class I back in the days. Yes. It doesn't make any sense. All right.
That could be. Maybe we're confusing the Pringles dude with it. That could very well be. And I'm going to play devil's advocate here because I just thought of that. I was just like, wait, I do remember the Pringles guy having a monocle, and maybe because I always remembered them as a kid. I'm thinking way back to me being in grade 1 right now, actually, which would make me 6 or 7 years old. But I remember thinking that they were the same person for a while.
All right, this one's getting into products that are messing with people again. So this one's gonna get people too.
Febreze has 2 E's. It has 2 E's. The whole point of it, when it came out, the marketing was that it was a breath of fresh air, like a nice breeze.
Yep, but it's not.
And I'm gonna smack them in
the titties. I have I know I have so many. Hold on, I gotta go look at my.
Are mine.
I gotta go look at my own under the sink. Hold on, I'm curious.
I can't use it because it causes me to have sinus headaches because of the chemicals in it. But yeah. I used to use it until I found that out. And I was like, oh, that could be the basis of a lot of my headaches. Febreze bottle at her house right now with the 2 E's. Yeah. It had 2 E's. Like the house that Grigorski and I grew up in, I remember walking into the laundry room to get it when it was released. Like, I remember getting it because we used to use it on the furniture to get the smell of the puppy dog out of the couch and just to like brighten the furniture up a bit, and spraying it, and it had 2 E's.
All right, apparently I have the gaslit brand. Damn it.
Yeah, they have changed it. I looked at when I was with my mom the other day. I looked at it and it was definitely changed. So
I hate this because I remember it with the 2 E's too, but everyone says no. But that's the thing with marketing, like that can change, right? Wait, Mason, you mean
Well-
you don't use Febreze? You don't use Febreze on your clothing? Come on. What about your Febreze?
Febreze salad. I want my Febreze salad.
Your Febreze. All right, this one gets people too. And I don't know. I think I'll show it in a second. But this, I don't know. This isn't going to really. Here we go. Let's do this. Does anyone remember? Crap, I deleted it. I was doing so good too. I was so smooth with it, and now I just crapped all over it. All right, here we go. Fruit Loops or Foot Loops?
No, it's Fruit Loops because it was double O's. And you know why? Because I used to keep the cereal boxes. We didn't have cell phones and tablets when I was growing up as a kid. I used to take the cereal box because they had things on the back of it and everything that you like puzzles and stuff. And I used to do those.
Yep.
And then I would take the box and I would take 4 Fruit Loops and put them over the O's on the box. So screw you, all you people who think it's fruit, like regular fruit. They did it because marketing wise, it looked better
Double
to
O.
kids.
Yeah, I
Fruit
agree.
Loops.
I think I
Fruit
remember
Loops.
it with the coloring of the O's being being the cereal. The UIT one over there looks stupid to me. Like that's some off-brand dollar store looking crap.
That looks like Fruit Loops to me. Like
it
Fruity
looks-
Pebbles.
yeah,
had
I don't like
fruit-
that one.
Was spelled fruity the correct way. But
green and
Fruit
purple,
Loops
yep.
was always 4 O's.
I agree. Yep, that one I think so it's nice to have a little refreshing moment where we all agree on the real one and not the Mandela-y weird one that people remember. But the rest of them are kind of pissing everybody off. Okay, this one, I don't know. This one,
Right, Rob?
I don't know. This one that's the thing with food. It could be, you know what I mean? Like with food, sometimes in one country it's one way and in another country it's another. But like this one kind of gets me too.
Like Kraft Dinner in Canada and you guys have KD.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about this one? Cheez-Its or Cheez-It?
I remember Cheez-Its because that's what we always called it.
I always called it Cheez-Its too. And I always remember it being Cheez-Its. I don't remember it being Cheez-It.
Yeah.
You don't eat a Cheez-It, you eat Cheez-Its. You don't just have one. You have like 45. I think a serving size is like 50.
I remember ordering it at the canteen when I was a kid
Mhm.
because I would have Cheez-Its and a chalky milk.
Cheez-Its and a chalky milk.
I had Cheez-Its and a chalky milk.
Cheez-Its
And
and a
that is
chalky
what I
milk.
called it. Cheez-Its. Can I get Cheez-Its and a chalky
Get
milk?
out of my head. Yeah, dude. I remember Cheez-Its and the internet says, we swear there used to be an extra Z at the end, but it's not. There was never a Z. They said it's Cheez-It and it's always been Cheez-It. This one messes with me because I think
I'm getting a headache.
I think it's Cheez-Its.
I feel gaslit again. I feel like I'm back in a bad relationship. Like I'm like, wait, maybe it didn't happen that way. And then I'm like, no, it definitely did because I interacted with these things the way that I did. It was Cheez-Its. I ordered it. It cost me 75 cents at recess. 25 cents for the chalky milk and 50 cents for the Cheez-Its pack.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to. Okay, I'm gonna do a few more, and then we can obviously go on to other other stuff. There's like maybe 2 more that I want to go into because then some of them start getting weird and stupid and blah blah blah. But I'm gonna need the nerds for this one because I know what I remember, but I could very easily be wrong in this case. Mason crashing out. Mason's gonna crash out even more in this next one. Mason's gonna crash out even more in this next one because we're getting real nerdy here, and I'm gonna need some help.
Oh no, I'm no. I'm leaving.
I'm gonna need some help on this one. Silver leg or no silver leg? I remember him all gold.
So here's the thing. Here's the thing with this one. Because okay,
Look
I'm
how this
actually
started
gonna
a
Google it
thing.
just to back me up.
was fixing his busted leg. But was it silver or was it gold? Oh, Mason, I'll go grab my fucking VHS tapes right fucking now. Mason's like, I'll go get my VHS tapes right now. It wasn't silver, but it was absolutely a lighter color. This is good. I like this one. Mason's like, no, throw down.
Okay, so I remember him having to get, I remember the conversation in the film itself where he's talking about he needs to complete his repairs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I do remember him having a different color leg. But I can't recall exactly when it turns back to gold, but I think, like, I'm pretty sure it's with Luke, though. I don't know. You know what? I'm going to watch... You're twisted my arm. I will have to watch all of the Star Wars movies all over again. But I do remember it being a different color because he had to get repairs.
Years ago at work. So yeah, it turns out it was legit. It wasn't silver. It was lighter color. Changed a lot of things. Dude, I don't know. I don't have enough.
I'm wondering when they did their color coding of the film, if that didn't change like the coloring on his leg and made it a different color, maybe because their VHS and DVD will look different because they did increase the color coding on it with the editing and everything.
Yeah, very true. But like this one, I knew was going to get people going. I knew it was going to get people going. What's going on, Tay? How are you? I knew this was going to get people going because that's one of them. That's one of them that just always...
We do have the VHS here as well. So if I combine a VCR, I'll watch the VHS ones, and then I'll watch the digitized ones.
All right,
as
children.
well to see what it is.
Get your vitamins.
Hang on. I have to make this bigger. The Flint... No, it's Flintstone, not Flintstones.
Everyone pronounced it Flintstones, though. Nobody ever pronounced the T. Flintstones. It makes sense. The word Flintstones would make sense for a real thing that you would need to make fire. But it's like Flintstone. It's making you think a little bit, right?
Wait a minute. Flint.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
No, I remember it with two T's, the Flintstones. And
I honestly
did pronounce
don't know. I honestly don't know.
Did pronounce it Flintstones because in my mind, even as a kid, I remember Dad telling me about Flint and stones, and it just made sense.
Yeah, I don't know. This one, I didn't really have a say in it. I couldn't really remember one versus the other. Look at Mason.
Fred Flintstones.
Look at Mason's comment.
Yeah, but okay, so what is the internet saying? That it was never silver?
No, they're saying it was silver. Gold? They're saying it was silver, but people remember him as full gold and never having a silver leg.
But he was full gold after he was finished his repairs. That's the thing. It's like he is fully gold after the repairs, and he gets like everything. Yeah, because I remember it even being mentioned in one of the films.
I just like that Mason went off to do his thing. Like lose the medal.
Absolutely. As Star Wars fans, it's important that we do this.
Oh, 100%.
At some point, he is fully repaired. Yeah, and then he's fully gold, and then he's gold in all of the newer films going forward. Yeah.
There's another one that's probably going to flip off Mason a little bit here, and we're going to call it this one. Have fun with this one.
Yeah, Flintstones, Flintstone vitamins. It was an extra T.
As I'm Googling Flintstones.
It without it. Yeah, I think that a lot of people's pronunciations, particularly in America, was different. I do specifically in Canada remember saying Flintstones.
So you remember it being Meyer with an A?
Not Flintstones.
For the baloney.
Oh, it's not with an A. It's with an E.
Nope.
It's with an E.
The sentence under this is like, who added an A and when did you change the marketing? Because the internet doesn't follow.
That's Oscar Mayer, not Meyer.
Yeah, no, it's an A.
You're just changing the whole pronunciation of somebody's family name, dude. Like, it's Meyer.
Sing the old song.
Oh, I wish I was an Oscar Mayer wiener. Not Mayer.
I wish you was an Oscar Mayer.
Say fucking John Mayer here. It's Meyer. Did John Mayer buy Oscar Myers and change the name?
The stupid face you made when you did that too. That's a clip. I'm keeping that. I'm getting that one. That's gonna be a top selling clip
There you
on
go.
YouTube.
I hope so. It's freaking Mayer. It's Meyer.
My baloney and your first name. It's Oscar
Which is an Oscar Mayer.
Second name. It's Mayer. I can't. I'm so you like puffed your lips out and pointed your chin when you did it and something. I don't know why, but it was the funniest thing I've ever seen.
So Mason says that there's a song where they spell out the name and it is an A.
I remember them saying, and it's Meyer.
Yeah.
I sang the song. Yeah, I think we all sing the song.
Osear. My baloney has a second name. It's Meyer.
I don't know. I didn't think the baloney one was gonna defy the internet here on it. Like, bro, why do I always find you when I'm drunk? I don't know. Enjoy it. Have fun. While Mandela effect irritates me, I'll also turn around
I'm about to go
and
get my
do
tequila again.
putting Hall and Oates, You Make My Dreams over a video of DuckTales opening and act like it's supposed to be like that. Oh my God. You savage. You savage. A girlfriend tequila with me. All right, well, okay. If the baloney did you guys in, then how about this one?
Don't you dare. What are you doing? What are you changing? Nope. Skechers had a T.
Good luck. The internet doesn't agree with you.
I know they don't. But Skechers had a T. Why would you call something Skechers? Is it the name of somebody? I need to know the history of the thing. I might be wrong on this because I didn't ever own Skechers, so I might be wrong on it.
Everyone agrees with the T. Everyone's like, no way. Wolf says it did not have a T. And Tay says no T. Yeah, Mason? Can you pull them out? Was there a T on the label? Are they just screwing with us?
Don't ask Mason to ever pull it out.
Wolf
will.
is animal. Wolf is an animal. Yeah, don't tell Mason to do it. Yeah, Skechers never had a T. That's what it says. Wait, I have 25-year-old Skechers. Let me check. Tay, I swear if you pull out a 25-year-old pair of Skechers and there's a T, we got this. I gotta go check this. Grigorski's going to look too. Everyone's running to their closets right now to check their shoes.
My mom has a pair upstairs. I know she does.
Grigorski, they stole the T.
Because I remember her talking about her Skechers. A Sketcher is a Californian youth slang term for a hyperactive, energetic person who cannot set still. So it's kind of like sketchy. So sketchy has a T in it. So if it was Skechers, it would have a T in it because you're being sketchy and you're being a sketcher. This
is amazing.
So it had a T in it, and I'm going to rip my microphone stand off and beat my monitor with it.
This is so good. Yeah, no, I remember.
I can't believe Skechers is inducing violence within me, but it sure as hell is. Like,
this is amazing. Linguistical standards.
But
sending
like you
my
said,
back for a refund.
People who are noticing these Mandela effects are remembering them, and the physical form has changed as well.
No, Grigorski's like, I'm sending mine back and demanding they put a T in it. He's all messed up now.
Yeah, no, I'm with Grigorski. Send it back. They've spelt it wrong. Skechers is based on sketchy.
Tay has the 25-year-old ones with no T. 25-year-old ones with no tea in it.
Why do you have a 25-year-old shoe?
Oh my god, if these are doing you guys in, then you're not going to like this one. Oh, I only had like 2 more. I was going to skip these, but
I
now
hate it already.
now I have to do this one too.
Maybe I'm just opposed to it not having a T because it isn't a real word then. Okay, Kit Kat definitely has that thing in the middle. Definitely has the thing in the middle. Right? No?
I'm just
Right?
waiting for
No?
everyone to get there.
I don't care anymore. I can't eat them. I'm celiac. I can't eat them. I don't care anymore.
Apparently, there's no dash, and there never was. Apparently, there's no dash, and there never was.
If I was strong enough, I would flip my table, but it's too heavy.
Y2's not having it. I rage. There's no way.
Yeah, I'm going to go to my local gas station right now, and the lovely girl there is going to see me. She's wonderful. She's delightful, and she's never going to let me back in there because I'm going to take all the Kit Kats and...
Well, I think we just ruined Grigorski even more because he's... No! No. You don't remember a dash? No, Mason's raging. No, there was no dash. Apparently there was no dash. It wasn't a thing. It wasn't a thing. Oh my god, this is too good.
I hate it here.
I know. I won't keep. There's like no more. I think there was like 1 or 2. I'm just scrolling
There
to
was
see.
also the one that we had talked about before with Babe, Pig in the City.
Oh
And
my
I
god,
remember
yes.
it as being specifically Babe, Pig in the City as a sequel, not
Mhm.
Babe 2, Pig in the City. But it was often by announcers said as Babe 2, Pig in the City, but it never did have that 2 in the title. It was always Babe, Pig in the City. And I remember it as Babe, Pig in the City.
Tell me whatchamacallits never existed. That what was a whatchamacallit? What was that?
Whatchamacallit was a chocolate bar, right?
Really?
It was like a candy bar sort of thing.
Wait, what? Oh,
Damn economic downturn forcing them to cut down on the cost by removing T's and hyphens.
wait, I found more. And they're old, so we're all going to enjoy them.
No.
What about this one?
What are you saying? Okay, hang on. I gotta make you bigger. All right, let's see here. Mickey Mouse's suspenders. Okay.
Apparently he never had them.
No, I don't remember him having suspenders.
Does everyone remember him being naked and just having pants in this very old Steamboat Mickey?
Yep, I do.
Just checking, because I don't know. He has, you know the funny part? He has the buttons for the suspenders, but he doesn't have them.
Well, he just had buttons there.
I think that's my favorite.
How's he gonna close his pants up if he doesn't have buttons?
Oh no. Oh no.
Yeah, the gloves thing was added later though. He didn't, in the original version, he didn't have gloves on his hands.
I'm more concerned about him missing gloves.
Yeah.
like-
His gloves was added later.
I know you guys like the food ones.
Captain Crunch, okay.
Captain Crunch versus Cap'n Crunch. King Mickey with the golden keyblade. All
I
right.
didn't remember it as Cap'n Crunch, but I don't know. I remember Cap'n Crunch.
I think I remember Cap'n Crunch as well. I think I'm on board with the Cap'n Crunch. I don't think it was Captain Crunch. I agree with that one.
No. I remember like camping with my grandmother, and you know those little mini boxes of cereals you could cut open with like scissors or a knife and then like eat inside. I was only allowed to ever eat sugary cereals like that when we were camping.
Cap'n,
I remember
I hate all of you.
Cap'n Crunch specifically was one that I'd go for, but I wasn't allowed to eat it afterwards because it cut my mouth.
Well, yeah, it cut everyone's mouth.
Yeah, I wasn't allowed to eat it anymore.
It completely messed everybody up. All right, I'll do one more, and then we'll pop on to a little more, because I know you had more history conversation too. We still have time, obviously. This just was so much fun.
We have the sunshine thing and stuff to talk
Yes. And we're going to dive into that. And then I have a few more conspiracies.
Oh.
But there's one more I want to do that's going to anger the world. I found one more. Crunchberries was amazing. That was the only way to do it. All right, here you go. Enjoy. This is your last one. I'll let you fight amongst yourselves.
It's Jif and there's Jiffy Pop, and I think that's where people are confused. There's popcorn and those little thingies, and then there's Jif peanut butter.
Plantain. Yeah, no, they say it was Jif. They say it was Jif. They said that there was never Jiffy. You never went and got Jiffy peanut butter. It was it was always Jif.
I'm just gonna look that up right now with the Jiffy popcorn.
GIF,
but
pronounced Jif. I hate this. I'm not getting into that. The IT thing, I'm not going down that path. I hate everything about that. If it comes up at work, I leave.
So and I know it's Jiffy Pop because that's what what's her name was Drew Barrymore was popping in Scream, and got really big and exploded and lit on fire and stuff. Like
the popcorn.
It was Jiffy. Yeah, so I think that's where people are getting confused. That it's Jiffy Pop and then Jif peanut butter. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
So
that's my story.
This is the worst stream to watch drunk. Oh yeah, is it? Did Britney Spears ever have a headset? Stream. Did she ever have a headset in this music video, or was she just dancing and singing like this?
No, she was just singing and dancing like that. And then when she performed live for the MTV Awards, she wore the same outfit.
Nope.
And she performed on MTV Live with the headset.
The headset, yeah.
In that outfit. But she never did it in the video. And I know because I watched this video. I had to record it on VHS, learning the choreography. She didn't have it on in the video.
She never had a headset on the video. Yeah.
Yeah.
Never had a headset on the video.
That's just stupid. Go back to the MTV, or I think it was MTV Awards. Might have been the American Music Awards or something like that. But yeah, she wore the exact same outfit.
This is like the people who go into some of the other things, like the Forrest Gump one, where it's
a doll.
It's the Forrest Gump one too, where it says life is like a box of chocolates, but they said in the movie he actually said life was like a box of chocolates, and everyone's like, "What? That doesn't make any sense."
Okay, no, because the line is, he says, Mama always said that life was like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. Because he's talking in the past tense of what his mother used to say.
Amazing. Yeah, so that's why...
Life is like a box of chocolates.
Yeah, so people remember it as life is like a box of chocolates, but it was, life is like, but it was life was like a box of chocolates.
Yeah.
That's like the actual... That's actually what it was, which was interesting. And then there's another one where it said Gandalf, the one that says chocolates. The one that Gandalf says, "Run, you fools," and
it's "Fly, you fools."
But it's "Fly, you fools." But everyone remembers it as "Run, you fools" for some reason. But it's "Fly, you fools."
They're stupid if they think it's "Run, you fools." You idiots. You morons, it's "Fly." I'm trying so hard not to swear right now.
I hate this because the one that's going to there's two more that are really going to mess people up, right? So there's, and you're going to know it immediately, the Snow White one, right? Mirror, mirror on the wall. So there's Snow White, and it's everyone remembers it as mirror, mirror on the wall. Who's the fairest of them all, whatever. And that apparently, if you look at the VHS and watch it again, is not the line. Apparently, it's magic mirror on the wall. Who's the fairest of them all? They never say mirror, mirror on the wall. But everyone in the world remembers it as mirror, mirror on the wall. This
there was
one,
a storybook too. I wonder if it's confusing with that.
It could. This is the one that gets people too. Here, I just found it too. I can pop it up here. This one got people. I think Grigorski's done for the evening. I can't take it more.
I'm just glad he's here.
This one I think did people in. There was no
Okay,
word
mirror,
magic.
mirror on the wall is a phrase used in the original Brothers Grimm fairy tale
Yeah,
translated
makes
from
sense.
German. That's why people say
Mhm.
mirror, mirror on the wall. But in the film, because Disney could never keep things straight,
Nope.
and I guess they were afraid of plagiarism to, I guess, a very minute degree, they had to change it to magic mirror on the wall.
Which I don't remember hearing that at all. I don't remember.
I
hearing
barely
that at all.
remember seeing it, so yeah.
Okay, so
I can't say one way or another.
I'm gonna piss off Miss Cat and Mason with this one. Mason, if you're here, the Luke, I am your father. No, he said, no, I am your father. Yeah, that's another one. Here's one that's
Yeah.
here's another one. God, I keep getting turned into these. It's amazing. Here we go. Here we go. Enjoy this one.
Okay, hang on. I can't see it very well.
So
Beam me up, Scotty.
he actually says, Scotty, beam us up.
Yeah, I do remember Scotty beam us up. Beam Me Up, Scotty was made popular by somebody else, not the show itself.
Mm-hmm. That was a later thing, right? Zip me up, Steve. Oh my
god. Yes, it was later used in the 1986 film Star Trek 4: The Voyage Home. It wasn't in the original. Season 2, episode 22, Scotty beam us up. Season 1, episode 20, beam me up. Season 3, episode 17, Mr. Scott, beam us up.
Mm-hmm,
Now, you never used the term beam me up, Scotty. That was popularized by other people. So yeah, I'm not upset about that. I do get that. I watched that show so much. Spock was my first crush. Leonard Nimoy, he was my first crush ever in all the world.
So this one kind of messed me up. This is
Which
probably
should
going
have
to
been
be
a telling tale to my parents, by the way, that I was autistic as fuck.
Oh my god.
I'm attracted to Spock. Why? Because he's so logical and calm. I like him.
I'm full of it, don't worry. I'm kind of feeling this one. So the Hannibal Lecter saying hello Clarice never happened, and he actually just said good morning. Is this kind of like the Beam Me Up Scotty one where someone made it up later?
Yeah.
Really great guy to be around. Plant, that's cool. Is that so? The hello Clarice thing, which we all know, never happened.
He says good morning and he says well, but yes, it was I was gonna say Jim Carrey, but
Somebody
I wasn't
did it,
100%
right?
sure. But it was popularized by Jim Carrey in the Cable Guy.
Okay, yeah. So that was moved on from something else. The Wizard of Oz one, Toto. I don't think we're in Kansas.
He does a Hannibal Lecter impression while wearing slabs of meat on his face, cementing the misquote into pop culture.
Okay,
He's
so
like,
that's
"Hello,
what it is.
Clarice."
Yes, so that's where it happened. Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah, I was gonna say because I've seen this film like. Silence of the Lambs was one of my favorite films.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Somebody's got that one locked down. This one I remember the right way. So the Toto, I don't think we're in Kansas anymore. I remember the way that they say it was said. Toto, I've got a feeling we're not in Kansas anymore. I remember that one.
Yeah.
So this is one where I remember the one that the internet agrees with is correct.
Mm-hmm.
Not the other way around. So I don't have a memory of the Toto. I don't think we're in Kansas anymore. I have the memory of I've got a feeling we're not in Kansas.
Yeah.
That's the one I remember specifically. So I guess we're good there. Yeah. That one's fine. So yeah, I'm gonna. There's plenty of them. You guys can actually look them up online. This could go on for years. There's just so many dating back from all the years that. We've possibly had it. From Field of Dreams, where if you build it, they will come. Everyone remembers that. And it's not in the movie. They say it's if you build it, he will come, not if you build it, they will come. So
yeah, I remember he will come because it was one specific person that he really wanted to show up and come. And I think it was like Babe Ruth.
Babe Ruth. Like yeah, I think it was Babe Ruth.
And that's why it was he will come. And that's how I recall it. But people have changed it to for like marketing and stuff.
Yeah. So that's where I stand with that.
Just popularized differently.
So that was fun. That was a good That was a good chunk of fun right there. That really did it. Stop. That's the worst one. No, I'd rather not condition myself being hypnotized by the internet. So yeah, now that we got off of the Mandela effect, I knew that was going to take some time because that's fun. You have to show those because you have to explain to people what we're talking about. And the cornucopia started it. So what was the next part that you wanted to talk about? You said there was some more history.
Well, not so much history with Cern, but people there's been, and I know you've seen it as well, and we've shared it back and forth, a lot of things on Instagram. I actually blocked a couple of people. I just didn't want to see their crap anymore when it came to the Hadron Collider and also this whole timeline shift thing. But a lot of people do believe that the timelines have shifted since 2008 because of Cern and the Hadron Collider.
You actually just answered Y2's question by saying that too. He was asking why Cern is responsible for the Mandela effect, and that's what you just said, because people think it shifted reality.
Yes. So I had explained that earlier, if you had missed it. So basically, Fiona Broom is a paranormal researcher, and in 2009, so CERN's Large Hadron Collider was turned on in 2008. It had a malfunction 9 days later, and then it was fixed up and relaunched in 2009. Around the same time, and I had said this earlier as well, but she remembered Nelson Mandela dying in prison, and a number of other people did as well. So she started a website based on it and went to collect like who remembers things that is actually different now and whether or not there was a timeline shift. And she wrote a book and she introduced the website in 2009. So there is a lot of conspiracies. That's when most of the conspiracies started, was because of this Fiona Broom lady with the Mandela effect. And then people started saying, well, there's also a correlation between like the weasel theory and Harambe, and then politics going the way that it did, and COVID and everything like that. So some people will say, like, and it's
holy
hard
moly,
to
that's crazy.
denounce sort of the I guess the correlation, but it's all also just coincidence for the most part. There's no real connection. For example, the Hadron Collider was shut down again from 2018 to 2022. So for 4 years there, it wasn't even on. So you would think, based on the theories that people are saying now, where they're saying, well, they turned off on June 26th, 2026. So you're going to find a difference in your energy and everything's going to be feeling different and better and time's going to slow down and stuff. It's not the first time that it's shut down. It's also, and people are saying, well, when it's shut down, things get better.
Yeah, what did they give
you? Well, if that was the case, then between 2018 and 2022, when COVID happened between 2020 and 2022, or 2019 and 2022, you would think,
I think
that
like a $2,000 card then, because I think 10's like a $2,500 right now.
You know, so there is a lot of just coincidence that they like to pick and choose from to validate their experience. And that's what a lot of it is people going onto Reddit and people collaborating on Instagram posts and stuff saying like, yes, let's validate each other's experience in this. But it's like, yeah, but what about the other stuff that's happened that would debunk your theory? And they don't want to hear about that stuff. And that's why I blocked a couple of people. And I think a couple of people blocked me as well, because I questioned their validity and why they were saying something. So there's, one of the things that bugged me the most was about the sunshine, and people saying, well, back when I was growing up, the sunshine always seemed more yellow, and now it just seems really white and artificial. So I wanted to look into that myself, because I was like, okay, well, light doesn't have a color. Light from the sun, because it has all colors, it is perceived to us as white. So I wanted to look it up. So guys,
Grigorski.
Wait, what did he say?
They gave us the COVID timeline to prevent the mega COVID timeline.
The what?
Grigorski said they gave us the
COVID time to prevent the mega COVID. Yeah, probably. Yeah, don't egg them on, Grigorski.
No, but Miss
Anyhow.
Cat's gonna have a good point here because she's completely correct about the sunshine thing. It's real.
Okay. So
Her part's real.
Y2J, hate to burst your bubble, but here you go. Here's the science behind it. Once again. So the sun has always been white. People often remember it as yellow due to cultural conditioning such as childhood drawings and such, and also the fact that the Earth's atmosphere scatters blue light, making the sun appear yellow from the ground. A perceived shift to a whiter sun is likely due to reduced atmospheric pollution. Now, the sun emits all colors of the rainbow, which blend together to create pure white light. Astronauts and space telescopes see the sun exactly as it is, blazing white. The yellow look, when sunlight enters Earth's atmosphere, gases scatter through shorter blue wavelengths, a process called the Rayleigh scattering. And that was learned by everybody. Unless you dropped out of high school and you didn't do physics, you would have done this experiment in your
I agree
classroom.
too, Y2. I'm on the same page as you.
But the loss of blue light gives the remaining direct sunlight and rays a yellow or orange hue. Cleaner air is why we're seeing more white light. So decreased air pollution and lower levels of atmospheric aerosols over recent decades means less light scattering. As a result, sunlight reaches the surface slightly less filtered, appearing more intensely white than it did during heavily polluted eras, such as the 1970s and the 1980s. Because I too remember, for example, driving through Ontario, stuck in a traffic jam and seeing the sun in the sky and being like, remembering it in my head right now, very yellow. But we also didn't have as many catalytic converters on these older machines. There was a lot of pollution, a lot of smog in the air back then.
The air also tasted like petrol.
It did taste like petrol. It smelled like petrol. I remember being car sick all the time because of the smell coming from machineries. But overall, the reason that we're seeing a whiter sun is because our atmosphere is cleaner. We've introduced more filtering into our vehicles, into like the smokestacks that what is it, like 2006 or 7? All the experiments came through with like how much carbon was being released from the smokestacks and factories, so there was more environmental pressure put on these factories to clean the air that they were emitting and everything. So all of that taken into effect, it cleaned up the atmosphere, so we see a whiter light now. It's not artificial. It's actually, if anything, it's just a cleaner, brighter light. Now with these smokes that's coming through from the fires, like the wildfires and everything, like the other day, I was noticing, I was like, wow, the sun is really orange right now. Because of the smoke in the air.
That was crazy, though, the way it looks.
A red sun and everything. Yeah, it looks apocalyptic because, of course, it's going to alter when you have all of those gases in the atmosphere. It's scattering the light so much more.
When I walked into my kitchen the first morning, that happened, and I didn't
know what you were laughing about, but I wanted to get it through without looking at what you were laughing about.
I was laughing because you're like something sun, and Tay just goes, I don't even remember the fucking sun.
Oh my god!
And it just made me giggle. No, so with me, it proves your point too. You know what I mean? Like the sun's, to me, is always white and bright and whatever. And then I do remember it being more yellow in the 90s and early 2000s, and that's that yellow color. But also keep in mind, we have a different mindset from back then too, where we have now been attuned to these stupid LED lights that we deal with every day that are like, I call them prison lights because they literally hurt my eyes. I hate them. I hate when people have them in their house. I hate when people put them in their like kitchens. I hate when I drive down the street in the neighborhood and I see it in someone's kitchen window or whatever. It literally looks like you're in prison. I hate them. And going off of that, back in the day, those didn't exist. So you didn't just go from like your yellow sun. You went out at night, all the lights on your street were like the warm yellow light. So like everything you were seeing all the time.
Those, oh my gosh. I used to love those.
They were so peaceful.
It's like this awful, just like fluorescent bull crap.
But they gave off like an orangey yellow, like you could see it like an amber glow, and it made the night just feel more like
so
relaxing.
Much so that me and the girls, when we would take photos outside at night, we would want to go under one of those lamps because amber light evens out your skin tone and makes you look like you've got a glow. So we used to take pictures with our film cameras under those lights because it just looked nicer.
Mason, you did, I think, get booted from Discord when you got hacked and your account started posting random things in all of my channels. I think Salty saved the day and kicked you out. So if you're safe, you got to add yourself back in. Because your account posted tons of things in every channel the other day. So the yellow light at night too was associated with like summer days and relaxing, and I think that's where a lot of people's positive memories come from. Not some interdimensional thing or whatever, just like your positive, relaxing, more calm memories from the 90s. People in the 30s and 40s and older right now have that memory because, long story short, we didn't have technology the way we do now. We didn't have these blue light things hitting us all day long. We weren't getting bombarded with blue light. We didn't have LEDs. We didn't have these bright blues and whites. We didn't have any of this. Christmas lights were very dark, essentially compared to now, for specific colors. You know, red, blue, green, orange, whatever. The street lights were all orangey, ambery colored. All the lights in your house were amber colored, probably with a dark shade around it so you could barely see anything anyway. Like, you know, it was just every light you came into contact with. Yeah, every light you came into contact with was a warm, yellowy orange light.
Tone, yeah.
So we would associate better days with a yellowy sun because I mean, it's a mental thing. It's a psychological thing, I think. It's not necessarily like
and also a scientific thing.
And scientific.
With the scattering of the light particles and everything.
But
like, there's a
holy
reason
crap.
that we remember it differently.
Did I have I don't know if you can see it on this. Did I have like this mother trucker coming through my window?
I know.
We've had Canadian fires cause the sun. You know, I live where I live, and Canada's 4 hours away from me. Like if there's fire, and I'm in the area where I get so if the wind blows this way and we get hit with that, I've had the situation before where the air quality was bad. I hate to say it, it's like every year people have fires, but they just happen to be traveling this direction now. And this time, though, I think it was because maybe the last time it happened, and I remember it was probably cloudy in general, and then we had the wildfires, so I didn't really have a direct sunlight, but I think it was like blue skies, no clouds, with wildfire smoke this time, and the color of the sun coming through your window, like when you saw the square of your window on the floor in the kitchen, like that was like, I didn't want to walk into that. Like I felt like I was gonna like flick Satan. Like that color that color was like wrong. Like the color of the sun coming in was wrong. And like when I went outside and I could like see it like on my body and stuff, I was like, oh, this doesn't feel right. Like this feels wrong. I don't like this.
Well, it's not so much wrong. It's just it's just the way that
I know. But it just felt icky.
But,
it didn't feel good. Like it was like color that didn't feel good. I was like, I don't like this. And it was like everything was this color.
When I was in California and there was the Malibu fires going on, it was the same thing. It was apocalyptic. Like the sun was red constantly for weeks after.
Yeah, why too?
So, fires happen, guys. And it's actually part of the reforestation process that Earth does itself. You just turned me off.
I had to because I had to check Discord.
But for those who don't know, there is forest fire prevention here in Canada, but we've had a lot more lightning strikes. And the thing with lightning strikes,
been crazy.
I was explaining to Stryker before a couple of nights ago, actually. I think it was last night, actually. But we were talking about it. They do flyovers after a thunderstorm to check for smoke, to be proactive. However, lightning, when it strikes a tree, goes down into the ground and it festers there for a few days and up to a week sometimes, and heats up from the ground, and that starts the fire from the brush. But that's one reason that it starts. But also the boreal forests. Was there a tornado in Canada yesterday? Yes. But we don't have to talk about that right now. But the other thing about the fires is that the boreal forest needs fires to regenerate, and that the coniferous trees their pine cones and everything, and all their little cones, they can't open without fire. It's the only way for them to be able to open to seed. So fires is actually something that's happened on this planet way before we were even here, to keep these coniferous trees going. So all of those sequoias and everything over in California, all of the trees up here in Canada, the reason we have such dense forests is because we have forest fires. And this whole political thing that we are bombarding people and everything with smoke.
Oh my
Listen,
God, I can't with that.
If anything, we're just trying to sage the evil out of Washington. Okay,
That was my favorite
we're just
part.
Saging y'all to
We're
save y'all.
saging the whole like that's my favorite part. It's a whole saging of the country, which I thought was great.
But I mean, I also think that it's so for
It's
anyone
good.
who's complaining about it. Like, for example, I'm just going to throw this out to you guys right now, because if you have any conversations with somebody who says Canada's letting these fires happen and it's interfering with America, well, first of all, our homes are on fire, our communities are on fire, our people are displaced, there's wildlife that's being killed by these fires. People are being killed by these fires. There was a firefighter killed like a week ago fighting these fires. So yeah, people are trying to help. But secondly, I saw this one disgusting thing, and it's already very central minded by these American politicians who are saying that, it's all about them, right? It's this very selfish attitude of it's all about them and what they're having to deal with. And it's just like, listen, your house isn't burning down. Shut up. But one of the things that Americans need to remember is that your government cut funding on making water bombers and cut funding on your fire departments as well, and your parks and recreation and your rangers and your forestry programs.
Literally put them out of business.
That's literally why Canada and Mexico has to come to your aid all the time. And every single time there's a forest fire, we're sending our firefighters, and we have some of the best firefighters in the world because we have so many fires. But we send them down there to help you guys out. Mexico sends them up to you guys to help you guys out. And the thing with the water bomber things, we rent those to you guys. So to have American politicians look at Canada and be like, you need to do more.
It's gross.
No, you need to shut up.
Yeah,
and it just
gross.
shows the ignorance of it. And the fact that people are hearing this from the politicians. And one guy I saw on Threads said, Canada owes us a check for all the smoke they're putting over here. Sweetie, if we need to start cashing checks, you guys could never pay us back for what we did in aiding America during 9/11 and the people that we took in and the people that we fed and clothed and protected during that time for weeks.
It's also what money? $40 trillion in debt to everyone, everyone.
But that's what I mean. If you want to start cashing checks, the whole world owns a lot of America, China particularly. So if we're going to get into that, you guys are kind of screwed if we want to start cashing checks for the aid that we have given to America. So and over the years, especially over the last 20 years with the forest fires that you guys have had in Montana, Washington, Oregon, California, now down in Florida of all places, you guys are having wildfires too. So the fact that they're sensationalizing it, that Canada is the problem, just is only being said as rhetoric from politics and from the Republicans who are still mad that we just won't bow down to what Trump is asking of us when it comes to
and the video just got banned.
The trades and everything.
I was waiting for his name. Well, last time we said his name, I got flagged for political something and they took the whole thing down.
Just I only said it once, just censor it. It's
amazing though. That's remember
anyway.
I think I remember I told you that and I was like, you want a conspiracy theory within a conspiracy theory? I posted our video and it had his name in it and they blocked the video. That's a conspiracy and a conspiracy.
Yeah. Well, no, it is political, Mason, because they're using it as a target against Canada. And that's the thing, is that they're using it as a target to further their they're trying to turn people against Canada now, which is really, honestly, it breaks my heart because America and Canada has been friends for so long.
They're trying to alienate everyone, so we have no friends and we have to be their puppets.
Alienating everybody, and it breaks my heart because of it.
Oh yeah, Mason, that was his comment was a few moments behind.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that goes to your point too. Cern collider, yay!
And Cern collider and everything.
No, but that goes back to your point just really quick about the world before humans. Lightning always was a thing. Yep. Brush was always under the trees.
Yep.
Lightning always caused fires, and right now it might look to us like there's more fires than usual, but to the planet, it's probably just another Tuesday, 700 years in the making or something. We're just here and we're pissed because now we have homes in between all of this. We're like, no, it's coming from my house. It's like, well, your house wasn't there 500 million years ago when this started happening. You know, your house didn't exist. Sorry you put a home there, but like the planet has a path it's following here, you know, so you're just there. Sorry. That sucks. But humans put themselves everywhere. So there's bound to be problems somewhere. Nature has its path it follows, and we put people on that path, and then we cry and expect ourselves to like, like not, you know, it's like, I can't. The tornadoes in Canada thing, the Category 5 hurricanes where I live, things that never happened before. Yes, a lot of this is probably man-made because we've built so many things and done so much stuff that's changed the atmosphere and changed the ecosystem.
When you start doing the chemtrail things and you start forcing rain and then altering the natural climate of regions, and then you start exacerbating the whole El Nino thing that's coming through and everything, and then swallowing up water reserves with data centers and everything.
Exactly.
Like it's gonna cause some sort of, like, I'm not saying it's all on data centers, it's on a lot of stuff that they're doing right now, that they're all messing with it. And I think the only thing that should be playing God is the God particle, really.
That's exactly where all of this comes from. That's where, yeah, things might look worse than they've been in the last 100 years, but we also haven't been recording weather for very long when you think about it. So like we don't really have a lot of stuff to go off of here. But when it comes down to like the fires in Canada, Canada always has fires. But then the forest that comes, 50 to 100 years after the fire is beautiful and it's clean and it's healthy and it's perfect. So it's meant to happen. But when someone flicks a cigarette out of a car and starts the process early in the wrong spot,
a lot earlier,
that's a different story. When it's not ready and prepared, then we have issues. California has always had fires as well, and it's just the problem is with California's fires, a lot of it's not lightning related. They've proven that one was the campfire that somebody had when they shouldn't have had during a season when it was super dry, and another one was a cigarette getting flicked out a window. That's why I made that comment. And they actually found the cigarette. Like some of these firefighters are like the most amazing detectives I've ever seen in my life. Like they'll find the cigarette that started the fire on a 500-mile stretch of land. Like, how did you do that? Like they can trace the fire back to the start because of something like science related. Like it's insane.
They're actually recreationalists. When I worked in insurance, we had it for different situations too, and it's an interesting science behind it.
Petrol bombs. It's insane.
Yep.
It's insane. But yeah, so that, Cern.
So I know you had some stuff that you wanted to say about it as well, because you were saying how you felt differently and everything.
So just to like cap off sort of the podcast a little bit, because I know we're a little over 2 hours and my workday tomorrow is insane.
Yes, we don't, but we can finish up shortly because I'm also hungry and I have to use the bathroom.
I kind of want to eat popcorn. So
Jiffy Pop?
Not Jiffy Pop. I don't trust myself with a stove and a foil disc that expands. No, thank you.
No, thanks.
So some of the conspiracies behind Cern, obviously we went over the Mandela effect. That was an amazing part of stream. That was so much fun. I think that was awesome. That was really good chat engagement. But there's a few other ones, and it kind of goes off of your science versus fantasy and why people essentially believe that things are happening or could happen. And when I stretch my brain between fantasy and science, I know the science is true, but then I have to believe that the fantasy is possible because the science is ever expanding and growing. So if the fantasy is not true now, it might be true later. And the reason I say that is because the CERN company and everything that they're doing, they are researching the Big Bang. We know that. They are researching black holes. They're trying to understand the science behind potential interdimensional travel. They're trying to see if they can figure out if a black hole could be used to stretch between two forms. You know, that whole paper thing where you fold the paper, 2 points get closer and you can go right to the other one kind of thing. Like, I think a lot of these conspiracies come from the fact that they are actively researching things that we used to find as fantasy, but now scientists are talking about them. They haven't proven they're real. They haven't proven they exist. They just are now speaking on them, and they have science and tools where they might potentially be able to prove yes or no. They haven't proved yes or no, but they might have the tools now to prove yes or no. So that's why people were saying that the shutdown really is what triggered all these conspiracies recently, because now, unfortunately, everyone is in uber conspiracy mindset. So everything that happens is conspiracy theories now. And it has to, again, it goes back to the government and not believe, blah, blah. It's a whole thing. Like, it's everything we're being told right now is nonsense. So we're going to believe nonsense. And one of it was they shut it down.
The sensationalism behind it. Yeah.
Everything's sensationalized because everything is a giant TV show right now because of you know who. It's all a sitcom. We live in a sitcom right now. So the whole thing was a lot of the conspiracy theories were like, okay, well, maybe they officially created one of these portals, or maybe something happened. And that's when people started speaking on the alien thing in Miami, where this quote unquote portal opened up in the mall and these 10-foot tall things walked out and they were in the wrong spot, or the portal opened up where it wasn't supposed to. And that's why all the police swarmed in and the government showed up and they did their thing to cover it up and took people's phones and all these things. I'm kind of sticking these two together because people were saying, well, so the government's found a way to create portals, but they didn't know how to do it right. So they started popping up in random places like that mall. People are starting to know more than they should. And we had to shut it down because this was one of the ways that they were able to do it. Like, it was happening because of this thing, and portals were out of control. And now creatures were just able to come and go as they please. And we screwed it up. We messed up. So we have to shut it down. That was one of the conspiracy theories behind it. And again, going into your science, the collider is meant for studying, not physically creating it. You know what I mean? Like, it's not going to be the thing that creates the thing. It should be the thing that inspires the science behind the next machine someone builds that creates the thing. Yeah. This is not the thing creating the thing. This is the thing that's teaching us how to create the thing. If that makes sense.
It's also just showing it's more so seeing what it takes that would trigger an event of that nature, of the Big Bang. Mm-hmm. So they don't want to cause, this is one thing that I read about it. They don't want to cause a Big Bang. They don't want to cause a black hole event. They don't want to cause any of that. They're looking behind the science of it. And to do that, you have to make it on a minuscule level in comparison, so that you don't do anything stupid as well, If
you can prove it's safe, then you can scale it up.
Exactly, which is why when they were working on the atomic bomb, he said it's just like, is this going to work? Mm-hmm. I mean, hopefully. It's just like, if it doesn't, then we all die. Then I blow up the Earth. He didn't know how bad it was going to be when they didn't want to rush that technology. They didn't want to rush that atomic bomb because he literally thought that if he split an atom, he's like, science shows if I do this, I might blow us all up.
And he might actually create that black hole that sucks the Earth down into it.
It's one of those massive things that people don't ever want to do again, particularly scientists. Like, they don't ever want to take that chance again. And that's why they don't, like, CERN has no military research involved with it, because they don't want any interference from any government. That's why they operate where they do outside of Geneva. So it's a neutral zone so that they can't be influenced by anybody.
Yep. They don't want anyone to touch it. But that's a good point. We've never done an atomic bomb ever again because they don't know if they just got lucky.
Yeah.
And they just got lucky, and maybe that could have been a failed attempt. And the real one, if it passed, would have caused, something we don't want to talk about. Two things that got kind of proven wrong and proven that they couldn't be a conspiracy theory was that people said it got shut down because of a containment failure or damage caused by an experiment. Two things of which you can debunk, because one, you already said that it's got so many safety protocols to basically shut it down, stop it, and shove this thing into a corner and call it a day, that's not essentially possible unless they dropped a nuke right on the freaking thing. It's not going to really cause. It can't, because it's got fail safes that are proven.
It requires so much energy that it wouldn't just blow up; it would literally fizzle out.
Exactly. And the other one was damage caused by an experiment. Well, we've already proven that too with the animals dropping the baguette and the jumping into the electrical. Like the thing is so big and so powerful and has so many individual working parts that one specific area failing doesn't kill the whole thing. It's like it's like a bunch of Legos put together that if you flick one Lego out, it's not going to catastrophically fail the whole thing. It's just going to blip it. It's going to piss off a scientist because he's going to miss a millisecond of data, but it's not going to basically rupture this entire thing into an explosion that causes a black hole.
Basically seeing like a temporary blue screen and being like, what the heck? And then restarting and being like, okay, it's all fine. Don't worry about it.
Exactly. I'm not going to go into the Project Bluebeam thing because it's stupid. The upgrades for weapon research, I'm not going to go into that because tying them together is stupid to me. I'm not going to go into
we can talk about it another time though, because it's still a fascinating conspiracy theory for sure.
Well, yeah. So just really quick, that whole one is that the government is coordinating with CERN to do like those supernatural and extraterrestrial events that we talked about, like putting a giant Jesus in the sky and saying he, owns the world and all this stuff, all this crazy stuff. That one I just can't, because one, this device, the Hadron Collider it's not a hologram creator like that. I'm like, Are you like, what are we doing here? What's up, Katana? I'm like, what are we doing here?
And that's one of the things that I think happens with the misinformation online is that people they read something, they take it to validate something that they believe and they stop digging. Yeah. But if they just did ask one more question, they would find out exactly how things work and that it's not possible.
It's not connected to it scientifically in any way whatsoever. Like it's not built or have the capability of doing the thing. Like I'm not going to sit here and say that it's going to like, I don't know, like drive my car for me or like, I'm trying to say the stupidest thing I can think of that this thing would do for me. Like that's one of them. Like it's not going to project fucking Jesus up into the sky in blue form and make him like go, it's like it's not built for that regardless.
And you know what? The funny thing is, if they did do that, so many people would call BS on it anyway, because there's because there's going to be the white Christian nationalists who are going to be like, oh, white Jesus, he's finally come. And then everybody else who's just like, this is not accurate. Like white Jesus wasn't white.
This blows my mind, man.
It's like, why is there a white man with blue eyes staring down at me telling me he's Jesus when Jesus could not possibly be white back in those days?
It's insane.
So yeah.
The other thing too that another
God. And what about Korean Jesus?
Oh my God, I hate it here.
With the 6-pack, 8-pack abs, have you seen him? He's hot.
I hate it here so much. Thank you for the shout out for Queen Wolf. So my other thing too, which was one of the conspiracy theories, which you knew was coming, but also can be immediately squashed, was that it was shut down to upgrade it for weapon research or military stuff, which again, you can immediately squish that. And I get it. Could they be lying to us? Could the blah, blah. Yeah, of course. But where it is, there wouldn't really be a way for one government to claim it. This would have to be like a unified front. Yeah. Or one unified worldwide lie, right? It wouldn't be like...
There's over 10,000 scientists employed and collaborating with CERN and with the Hadron Collider. Like this, there's so many intellectuals behind it. Someone would blow the whistle on somebody so fast.
They also don't care. They don't care about this thing. This isn't a thing that can create a weapon. Do you see the other day? I don't know if you saw the other day, but they already shot like the first railgun that they created. Like they're preoccupied with scientific, like futuristic weapons already. They don't need this thing. They don't even care what this is doing. They're already building scientifically like advanced.
There is somebody
weaponry.
else making that weaponry, but it is not CERN. I don't know if I showed you the video of in Poland they were having a protest and they used a sonar type weapon.
Oh, I know all about this. It like heats you up from the inside out.
No.
This is a different one? There's a new one?
It's a different one. This is like a sonar one that it is like it discombobulates you, so it messes with your inner ear and causes you to basically fall over, throw up, you just fall over basically, and that's what people did. There was a crowd of people who all suddenly like heard this thing, but felt this thing more so, and they turned around because they knew it was behind them, and then they all fell down and fell to the sides and ran away.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so this is that one.
Yeah, and everyone's saying it felt like
Hello, Camaro.
sound device that was weaponized.
Because there's
someone making these things, but it's not CERN.
They've had the vibrational one for years that they could essentially push outside of like a political adversary's home or something, or during military times, and it would essentially microwave you from the inside out. You'd feel hot, your skin would get a little weird, and that's existed, and it's something that you can't hear, you can't see, you can't anything. This one's interesting because it basically affects your equilibrium, your inner eardrum, all that stuff, and makes you essentially drunk. It essentially like makes people drunk, and if they push it hard enough, that can really rattle you to the point where you're not coming back from that.
Can I just answer Y2J real quick here?
Wait, I didn't
Why
see
do
where
they
he
have
puts it.
ritual statues outside of CERN? They have the Indian Queen Shiva. I can answer that really fast. And if you wanted to find out, Google is free also. I don't know why this has to happen. But I mean, I just did a quick search on it, and it's because the statue was gifted to CERN by the Indian government in 2004 to celebrate decades of scientific collaboration. It stands as an artistic metaphor linking the cosmic dance of creation and destruction in Hindu philosophy with the study of subatomic particles.
That's cool. That makes sense though, because the fact that they have, the 10,000 scientists from all over the world, specifically having different statues or deities and stuff.
India has a major amount of engineers.
That would make sense.
So.
Just having that many people from all over the world from different religions and stuff, they would any gift of that sense would just be something from them as like a peace offering. Essentially, it would probably make all of their scientists there feel more comfortable. They'd feel more welcome. It's just, none of that would be any kind of like weird symbolism or anything to me. It would be
because that was one of the conspiracies. I didn't even want to talk about it because it pissed me
weird
off just to read it.
Dance opening CERN. I mean, to us it might look demonic, but to them it might look, angelic.
Yeah, I mean, it's a Hindu statue, guys. But that's one of the things. It's one of the things that I did not include in the conspiracies because it pissed me off immediately because it's such horseshit because it came from Christian nationalists, the whole thing of it being satanic and everything.
100%.
And I'm like, satanic? How are you going to relate Satan to Shiva? Or
it's not
Shiva,
even close.
however you pronounce it.
They're not even on the same wavelength. They're not even in the same book.
They don't even do the same things.
They don't exist in the same timeline with each other when you think about it.
We're not going to talk about, and I didn't want to get into the religious discussion around it as well because I immediately squashed it with just a Google search like that. Like,
So the last thing,
see
the Germans during Oktoberfest, I like Grigorsky and Mason's thing, right?
Mason and Grigorsky, they go on their own tangents. And
when someone sends you a kick-ass statue, you're not going to put it in your front yard on display?
Yeah. I mean, they could have put gnomes out there, but that would be very gratuitous.
No, we're not going to the gnomes anymore. I'm looking at gnomes differently. I'm going to walk by every gnome in my neighborhood and I'm going to look at them funny sideways and say, who seated you?
You're going to be like, oh, your neighbors are kinky.
Yeah, where did you come from? I didn't see you last week. And I'm going to look through the window and be like, what have you guys been up to in there? You got gnomes. What if every time you like humped in your house, you had a gnome show up on your front lawn so everyone knew? Man, the neighbor's got like 30 gnomes out there, and I've seen a bunch of cars come and go over the last couple of weeks. Crazy.
It's right outside of the window of my hot neighbor's
Crazy.
gym.
Howdy ho.
I'm just but I think just to comfortably cap off, because you're hungry, I gotta pee too. To comfortably cap off, I think episode 5 and the conversation about CERN and the Hadron Collider, like I like to do with all of our podcasts, I am gonna say that personally, and I'm not saying it technically, it could be a huge coincidence right now that certain astrological things are happening, certain spiritual things are happening at the same time CERN shut down the collider. I'm not saying that those aren't happening because they shut down the collider. All that other stuff is happening anyway.
No, that astrological stuff and the Mercury retrograde and the fact that we're pulling out of it now.
Coming out of Taurus and blah, blah, going blah, blah, whatever that was.
And this being a big astrological year for a lot of signs as well.
Exactly.
And I believe you're one of them also.
Yep.
It's going to be an energy shift also.
I am, yeah, a minute, which is good because they said it was positive. So I've been told before CERN shut down that I was going to be coming into 7 to 10 years of the first positivity, all good, feel great, everything's going to feel cool, blah, 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 after like 25 years of, oh my God, how am I even alive right now? And that's all happening at the same time as the CERN collider being shut off. So I have to, and you know me as the spiritual person and what I believe, I have to sit here and say, okay, I don't think my feeling like the sun's more yellow, or I'm suddenly getting promoted at work, or I have more money, or I feel like I can do more, or, oh, was Saturday 28 hours long? Because it didn't feel like 24. I felt like this day went on forever. Oh, work's speeding by. Holy crap, it's 5 o'clock already. I feel like I'm out of work. Where like for the last 25 years, I felt like I couldn't, like work never ended. My weekends flew by. Now it's like a reversal in time. My weekends are lasting forever and work's going by super fast. And I don't think my this feels great has anything to do with the collider. I think that's an excuse. Knowing the science behind it, I know what it does. It's a tool. It's like a hammer in your basement that you use to hammer in a nail. We made a hammer, we hammer in a nail, we learned it, we moved on. They're using it to smash atoms. They're trying to figure out if they can make black holes. They're literally just trying to learn how the universe works because we can't go there. They're trying to build a little baby thing here because they can't go to the thing up there. Does this little thing create something that maybe lets us go there? Not in our lifetime, but potentially one day. Chance to get rid of the belly you hate so much. Dude, I hate my belly. So it's a different world for me right now. And that's why I'm kind of bringing this all together, where I'm going to put a cap on the conspiracy theories behind the Hadron Collider because I don't think it has anything to do with what's happening right now. I think people are using it as an excuse because they don't understand the mystical side of kind of the spiritual stuff that we believe in, and they don't understand that different atmospheric changes have effects on your hormones and your attitude. I'm what? Oh, God damn. Did it again. Tiny. Man. He really wanted me to.
Tiny wants you to be biggie.
He wanted me to put it this point.
He's like, can I be the little spoon to your big spoon?
He made me put this. He really wanted me. I'm taking you in the shower later again, you little thumb man. You earned it. But yeah, so I think
I do believe with you on that wavelength as well. That people are attributing it to CERN being shut down and everything, but really, it's been being talked about since I remember last October. I actually had a reading, and they said that I was going to have a very difficult winter, but next year, the astrological signs, mine in particular, Aquarius. I mean, I'm an Aquarius sun with a Cancer moon and a Virgo rising, Capricorn Venus. So you know, I'm all sorts of confusionalism. But basically, I was told that there was going to be a shift in energy, and I think I really felt that. Back in June, they said that you're gonna start feeling it, and then by the end of the summer, you're really gonna come into that. And I feel like I have definitely come into that a little bit more. I feel more positive. I feel more light, and I feel my outlook a little bit more positive in the sense. Maybe it's nihilism as well, because like, you know, ever since reading about the all the things that could possibly go wrong come 2029 with the asteroid that's hurtling towards us and all of its debris on its tail coming to maybe plummet us into nothingness. Like maybe it's nihilism too, a little bit, in the sense of like, taxes aren't going to matter in the grand scheme of things. And like, if you look at any of the large stars in our universe that are like billions of times bigger than what we are and stuff, I'm like, we are so tiny, and why am I worried about money? This man-made thing, and all. Ever since the worry went away from it, I feel much more lighter and everything. But that's also, I think, is attributed to the shift that you were mentioning as well. That it's not this CERN project thing; it's more so just a shift in energies, and people are just confusing it with things that they don't understand.
It's like, so again, not keeping us any longer. We're We're almost done, guys, I promise. But I think
Yes.
the shifting in energies thing and putting something that you don't understand is kind of like the same concept of, I'm not doing the religious thing again, but the same concept of like the first person on the planet ever to see lightning and hear thunder had to attribute that to something that they know and that they understand on their own plane of existence. So now this kind of like Thor, which I do love those gods though, oh my God. But like Thor,
They're so great.
yay, thunder, lightning. It has to be some big dude up there smashing a hammer. It has to be. It
Yeah.
can't be anything else. That's kind of like now where it's like a fish
Smashing
farts in the
something.
water. It's it's a guy with a trident and he's making waves. He's jumping up and down real big. But like, so
Meanwhile, blue whale just farted.
seriously. So that's where my point comes up with the spiritual stuff. I have my own experiences, which is fine. People don't understand certain things. It is already scientifically proven that the moon does something with gravity and moves tides and things like that. Astronomical things affect you emotionally, physically, spiritually, whatever. It affects your mood. It affects your attitude. It's going to change things, whatever. So let's say something comes out of something that's a planet, changes the gravity of something, changes the pull of something. I'm trying to put a little sciencey, layman's terms to it, even if you're spiritual, whatever. And it makes the person who's in charge of your payroll happy, and they're in a good mood now, so they decide to do this thing and you get promoted and you make more money. Like, it's a snowball effect. Like when people's energies change, it affects the energy level of everyone. So you might not be directly changing your energy, but maybe the energy of the people who affect you got changed and now they're in a great mood, so now they're going to trickle that down to you, so your life just got better. I mean, you got to think these things.
It's like this whirling effect. I always thought of it as like a whirling effect where energy just like kind of just whirls around each other, kind of like the butterfly effect sort of thing.
Everything's connected, and it's not necessarily like you could be told like your energy is going to change, your life's going to change, whatever. We're not like one being anymore. There's a lot of factors that come into this, and it's like maybe that one company decides to make that one thing that you didn't have for many years. They're like, man, I'm in a good mood today, I'm gonna make that candy bar again you haven't had for 20 years, and that's where Dunkaroos suddenly showed up on the shelves again. Woo! It's like
Wait, did they even go away?
no,
I
they're
hope I saw them.
oh yeah, they went away for like literally like 20 years. Like they got discontinued, poof, out.
Really?
Oh yeah, tossed, gone.
Only in America? Because we had them
Maybe.
here still.
That's why it was a huge deal when they came back on the shelves. People were losing it because they had the OG like recipe too. It was gone forever.
I did leave.
They're adding a hyphen to the Kit Kat bars. Yeah, okay, no, they're not. That's never happening. Skechers aren't getting the T. Cheez-Its
They
aren't
will
getting
be
a
when I
Z.
get a hold of them.
It's gone. But yeah, that's my thing. I think the Hadron Collider is a bunch of BS. I think it got shut down so that they can upgrade it because science, and they have more money now and they have more technology, so they're increasing it and doing their things. I think people are misinterpreting what they're doing there for things that can be disproven. The things that can't be disproven, like the spiritual change with the whole going out of Taurus and all that stuff, and everyone's all of a sudden in this great mood. I think there's other factors causing this great mood to happen, and people are putting a physical term to it because that's what they can see and feel. It's like ghosts. A lot of people don't believe in ghosts and paranormal because they can't see it, they can't feel it, whatever, until you do what I do and you sit in a house and you get bombarded with shit. Then you feel a little different about it. Freshen up. Hello. Welcome in. How you guys doing?
Hey, freshen up. Dude, I gotta
Hello,
order more
friends.
of you, actually. I just ran out of my grapefruit graveyard.
I drank too much of it.
I
I drank
gotta
too
order some
much
more.
of it. I'm doing good. Thank you. Welcome in. We're actually just finishing up. We're getting close to the end here. We had a whole podcast today, whole 2.5 hours of our conspiracy theory. It started with Mr. Hanky from South Park. Not really sure we went with that. Tornadoes, something about Cheez-Its. We talked about the Flintstones, moved on to a little bit of science, smacked religion around a little bit, got put in a headlock by Jesus, and then planets, buttholes at one point. I don't know.
Korean Jesus.
Korean Jesus. I don't know. It got a
He's
little
strong
weird.
man.
It got a little weird. I'm gonna have to edit this for YouTube, and I'm gonna be watching this back and not really know what's going on.
And
What's
when you
up,
have
dummy?
to
How you doing?
Bleep. You have to bleep out the orange guy.
Now, oh
You said
no,
it like once or twice.
oh no, I have not. We're not. I know we're kind of off that, but like trailing off a little bit. I have an overnight coming up this weekend that I'm filming at an old Civil War hall, and we're going to a haunted bar beforehand. So we're going to a haunted bar beforehand, and then we have the keys to an old Civil War hall the whole night. And then at the end of next month, we're doing a house up in
Up where? Up your nose?
So Tiny
glad
decided to
you
zoom
noticed.
in the same time that Freshen Up gifted 100 kicks. Thank you for the 100 kicks. He zoomed in the same
He's like,
time.
hey,
Exactly
thank you.
the same time. Exactly the same time. Oh man, this dude, man, this camera drives me nuts. But then after I'll cut out all this stuff after. But then after the Civil War Hall, we have a house that's owned by someone who used to work at the Conjuring House that we're going to next month. That we have the whole night. And then in September, I'm taking a week off from work and I'm going to Savannah, Georgia, and I'm going to see if I can plan some stuff in Savannah, Georgia.
Oh, there's plantations down there and stuff that
There's
that
a
is said
lot.
to be very heavily haunted.
There's a lot. I'm going to be meeting up with a few people in New York and Pennsylvania, and then I think Freshen Up, you're out in Utah. I think you're out in Utah, like officially, like you live out there.
Utah.
I want to go out to Utah, but the problem is I don't think we can do the Salt Lake anymore. I don't think you can do, like, you're not allowed there. It's like toxic or something. I don't know. You can't, like, because the water level is so low and it's something. They're finding bodies in the water, like coming up out of the salt. It's a whole nother day of talking about this kind of stuff. But like, you know, old like mob things are happening and they're finding weird stuff. And that's where the hauntings are starting to happen along like the waterways. Because like humans did naughty things and threw things they shouldn't have in water. And now water's not there anymore. So naughty things are showing up.
Bombay Beach in California is one of the coolest and most terrible stories regarding throwing stuff in the water.
Contaminated harbor in the U.S. Yeah, dummy. It's so bad, dude. One of the things I want to do is something skinwalker related and animal transfiguring and things like that. And I think Utah has a lot of that as well. If I remember correctly. I don't know what you said, but it cut out. It didn't let you say any of that.
It's okay.
Are you muted on purpose?
No, I'm not muted at all.
Is it just not saying the word?
Can you not hear me?
No, I can hear you now. That was weird. Every time you went ski, it was gone. Ski.
Skinwalker?
Now it's going through. The 3 or 4 times you said no, it's gone again.
Yeah, it doesn't like the whispering.
Oh, okay, so that's what it was. Because it was just really creepy that's the word that cut out, okay? I've been abducted as aliens, young as 8. Well, Rubber, we've had conversations about aliens before. We've had a podcast previously, which is on Spotify, that we've talked about that.
On Spotify and YouTube.
Utah's usually really good about that. The only thing we've had here is the Great Salt Lake is drying up. Yeah, it's drying up, and apparently, you're going to want to look this up. Apparently, the shoreline receding has creepy things in it. That's all I'm going to say. YouTube friendly. Creepy things. Creepy things coming out of the ground, because where did we bury people before?
Hook them in the water. He's got popsicles. He's got popsicles, tasty popsicles.
Ma'am. Older I got, I even remember an encounter with the Men in Black. Well, I mean, you might. We've had talks on this one. We probably will have a recap talk at some point with all these new things coming out that we'll have to discuss on at some point. You do not want to go.
They're never going away, and
do trust me.
Yeah.
No, I do. I do want to go to all of that. See, I'm the person who wants to put his foot in the door of every nonsensical thing that's ever been talked about or created, because I'm the person who will probably die from his curiosity. I want to know that something is real. So I'm the one who wants to go and make things real. I want to go and be there when a wolf house turns into a person. Please, for the love of God, I hope clothing transfigures with them, because I don't want a giant wiener swinging around when it turns back into a guy. But that's fine, Miss Cat. You can have the giant wiener swinging, but I don't want the giant wiener swinging. So I'm just saying, I want the wolf to turn into a guy, and I want it to be like the Hulk, where like pants just appear. Like pants just show up on this guy when he transfigures.
I want to go to Sedona. I want to go to Sedona and go through the portals, they say.
What's scarier to you guys, realizing we're not alone in the universe, or we are? That we're not. 100%. 100%. Yeah. I do not want to be alone.
What? I was going to say, I don't want to be alone. And I don't want to know that this is it. Like, I want to know that there's chances out there, and there's more out there.
I don't want to be alone.
terrifying.
I don't want to be alone. I don't care if there's a cockroach doing some salsa dance on a moon outside of Venus. Like there needs to be something. This, if humans are the peak existence in the universe, crap.
That I already want off this planet.
Crap. Comes back after Skinwalker Ranch talking about how the Mandela effect isn't real and the government's actually really trustworthy. Gregorski Cosmo comes back after his Skinwalker Ranch experience talking about how the
Yes.
Mandela effect isn't real and the government's actually really trustworthy and aliens aren't real.
Yeah, he has a strange glazed look on his face.
They forgot to take
I'm
the
sure it's him.
Scotch tape. They left the Scotch tape on when I come back to the stream.
Yeah. It's showing the mask like around your mouth is peeling off. Yeah.
Man in Black Ordeal was with my mom and she is no longer here. Wish I could ask her. Yeah, dude, I've learned some things and I've had my experiences with aliens. I did talk it on a previous podcast with Miss Cat, and I personally woke up in the middle of the night with two of them standing in my room one time, and we talked about how they backed up into their little portal, scared the hell out of me, and I will never forget that. That's scarred on my brain forever. Becomes a Mandela effect. Yeah, I become the Mandela effect. I've never been a streamer. How dare. I think it would be scarier to realize. I like this like question moment we're having now too at the end to kind of cool down. I think it would be scarier to realize despite all the galaxies that we're the only thing, like, bro, what a waste of the universe to just have us. There's got to be more. I 100% believe that because
Yeah, I'm with that. Like, can you imagine, like, we're the only things and we decided that we have to pay to be able to live here?
in
like,
all the alternate universe
stupid.
conversations, it doesn't even have to be an alternate universe. It can be this universe, just somewhere that's 1,000 years ahead of us because of how the speed of light travels and everything. That's already figured their crap out. Because like this is boring. I could stub my toe, get an infection, and I'm cooked. You know? Oh, another hosty. Hello, Reaper. Welcome in, sir. Welcome in, TG. What's up, dude? How's it going? See, now all the people overseas are going to bed, and they're like, here, I'm going to sleep. I'm going to sleep. I was going to go to sleep, too. Damn.
We're going too. I need to go get food.
I know. What's up, Reaper? How you doing, dude? What's up, Jenny? Now we're on the same page about that. I like it. No. So, fresh it up. We're 100% on the same page that this is boring if this is all we got. This is boring if this is all we have. I can't make fire.
We can feel that we're not it. Like
It
feel
feels like it, right?
innately that there is something else out there that we're connected to. Because I since I was a little girl, I've
Reaper,
had this
at least take a
loneliness of
nap.
somewhere
How
else
was your
that I
stream, dude?
belong, you know, or that something else that I relate to, and it's never been here
What's up,
on
Tofane?
Earth. And I can't explain that feeling, but you know, it's not just I who has it. So
What's up, Jenny?
yeah.
Up. We're getting trolleys. We're getting
Yeah.
trolleys.
Yeah, I see him.
We're getting trolleys. I want one.
That's hilarious.
I know Wolf's there, but I want one. Wait, but like, can I do the thing that he was asking?
Can you? I think you should. You're the slut here. Not me.
No, you gotta pay for that. I was going to show them.
Doesn't it
I was
take-
too, man. I was too. Reaper, there's plenty of
100 subs, people.
You got-
100 subs.
You got too many titties on the internet, okay? The universe didn't choose to experience itself with just us. Progression is elsewhere too. It has to be. We can't. We can't. I'm sorry. We cannot be the one that. I swear to God, when you look at our planet from a distance, we look like a virus. You say, thank you for the 100 kicks. Anyway, thank you for letting us stop by and hang out. No, anytime, man. Anytime. I appreciate you. Also, I need pre-workout, okay? I just ran out. So
Use code Cosmo.
thank you for the follow, CNR. Reaper host, hell yeah, dude. So
Oh, Turtle, also thank you for the
Jenny,
the sub.
thank you
I just
for the
saw that.
follow.
Thank you.
thank you so much for the follow. So what was the hell was I gonna say? The planet thing, right? So when you look at our planet from a distance, it looks you are going to bed. Okay, I thought you were lying to me. All right. Go to sleep, Reaper. Thank you for the host. I appreciate you, man. Have a good night, dude. So the thing with looking at a planet from the distance, you see all our lights and everything, we look like a virus. So my thought is like humans are just like a pimple somewhere. Like we're just waiting for somebody to reach far enough on their back and pop it. Like at this point, I can't.
Well, that's the thing in my head now. It's not so much the disagreeing. I totally agree with you in a sense, but however, I also feel completely disgusted,
Yo, what's up, Reefer? Thank you, man.
and I
Go
don't
sleep.
feel so hungry anymore.
But like you look at, I couldn't forget this. Like I had a teacher one time that showed us the petri dish of like a virus, not a virus, but like a bacteria growing across it or whatever, and doing like its whole like pattern and stuff, and then showed us a picture of the planet with like the lights at night, and I was like, we kind of spread like bacteria, like we kind of breed and then just kind of go everywhere and drain the resources and then leave or die. I was like, oh. When he landed on natives' land, I fear that's what will happen to us. Hoping not. Well, didn't he land on? Miss Cat's gonna hit this one too. You said native land, so it's still correct. Didn't he land in like East Asia or something? Like, did he ever? Didn't they prove he like never landed in America ever? Columbus? I think it was South America. It was South America. I think it was South America.
Yeah.
I think there was
Which
a
is
whole.
technically still America.
It is, but I think there was a whole
Y'all
thing
don't
where
own
he.
America. Sorry, us.
I think
Okay.
he never. I don't think he ever. I think they proved he like never landed here. He landed in America, but we always took it as our thing. But it wasn't here. That's why they changed the holiday. It's not Columbus Day anymore. It's like Indigenous Peoples Day or something. Yeah, I like that you said native. Yeah, it was something. I'm sorry, you triggered like a thought. I was like, there's something here that's different. I don't know. Colombia? Great grandpa.
Great grandma.
They had a great time.
If only they had those boats then. If they had those boats still, I mean, they would have had a lot better business.
And they had a great time. Native as in they were here before. Yeah, 100%. No, 100%. I just like something, it hit some note that I remembered some story and some recent, not recent, but in the last like 4 years thing. I didn't know any of the, I'm trying not to Google that. I'm trying to remember it as like a thing. Jenny's got the nuggets. All right, guys. W Podcast stream. Thank you, Jenny. We've had a good time. This is just the wind down. This is the wind down.
Yeah, this is the wind down.
She's wiggling because she has to be, because I do too. All right, I'll say goodbye here.
The pee wiggle.
I'll say goodbye here. I'll chit chat with them for a couple more minutes, and then I'll head out myself because I gotta work.
Have
a good night. I appreciate you.
Appreciate you too. We'll talk soon.
Have a good night. Bye.
Bye, guys.